Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Well, I think this might be the latest start time for the show ever, but nonetheless, we are happy to be here. And apologies for the show archive on Rumble not playing back properly, but I guess...
Also, apologies to the Bits and Bones audience for the same thing, but it seems to be a Rumble problem, ladies and gentlemen. We will talk for them.
Yeah, that's about what I was about to say. We really appreciate the people coming out for Bits and Bones.
They
Well.
they rivaled our audience on their debut.
That was a great episode last week.
So yeah, that was awesome. And we have a full house for the panel from the beginning, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
More and Apex join us.
Hey guys.
So
hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. Fellas, it's nice to see you as always.
Good to see you as well. Thanks to everyone for buying The Fourth Estate, which is available in paperback and Kindle edition. And yeah, working on the third book. So
you can get this nice photo with it. You know what I mean? Looking dapper. I mean, it's obviously like, 2p on this camera, but that's just the nature of the game.
It's like 480p on here, so not, But
yeah, it's legitimately, like, I say this every week, but it's legitimately a good read, guys, and worth picking up if you want to support the show or just want a nice political thriller.
I actually I objectively think it's some of the best writing I've done, honestly.
I will say, and I hate to say this because we spent so long promoting the first book, but it is kind of objectively better.
Yeah.
Agreed. But it requires the first book to really get the full effect, and I am hyped for the third one. I hope we can get it done by the end of summer so nobody gets hobbled.
I think, I'm hoping by August it will come out. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
Book launch, and you're going to be ripped, right?
Yes.
Ripped by August with a new book.
Ripped by August with a new book.
Just don't rip the book.
Hey, customer buys the book. They can do whatever they like with it.
True.
Yeah.
But at least fucking read
Also, I want to say what's up to chat. Thank you, current, future listeners, for joining us this evening. Chibi's in the chat already, of course. What's up, Chibi?
Shout out to Chibi, and shout out to Josh for...
Looks like Joe Fish Jr.
Joe Fish. Sorry, I misread that. Who says Watertown in the house? I don't know where that is, but shout out to them as well. And for
anybody that missed it, I just want to real quick, since we're doing our cheap plugs, Mort was a part of the new show Bits and Bones. It's a gaming related podcast, mostly. How do you think it went, Mort?
That debut episode was fun as hell to record with the guys. That's absolute blast. I have a blast here with you guys, but I'm no offense. Last week was fucking hilarious.
No, it was a good show. You guys had lots of topics, and it's a shame that the Rumble decided all the VODs that week are just not going to work. But that's beyond our control. But I just want people to check it out. The channel on Rumble is Bits and Bones. Will you guys be doing a show this week?
Shows this week had to move it up just for this week alone to 8 p.m. EST, and then next week back to 9 p.m. EST. One of the guys had a prior engagement, so we moved it up an hour.
Cool.
Cool.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, sorry, Sam. I just wanted to make sure we get the plugs out.
No.
And at some point, real quick, at some point, we're gonna get a massive more Watty rant at some point.
Based. For those that don't know, Watsy's Wizards of the Coast. Yes. I'm looking forward to it because I have a lot to say about fucking Wizards of the Coast these days. Although I come from a different perspective than you because you're more of a Magic player, as I understand, right? I'm more of a D&D guy.
Right. Up until recently, I played Magic as far back as 97.
Damn, I used to play in like 97. That's probably the last time I played, but I was into what, 5th edition, I think it was?
It was revised / 5th, yeah. Yep.
Something like that. And then I realized that I was spending all this money on cards, and I had to keep spending more money on cards to be competitive with my friends. So I was like, you know what? I sold all my cards, and I think I bought pornography and marijuana with it. Pretty sure.
Probably got laid too.
No, I was like
pornography and getting laid. Those two don't usually go together.
Yeah.
Sammy, what's going on with you, buddy?
Well, I was just thinking, while we're doing plugs here, it just occurred to me that we almost have like 100 subscribers on Spotify, just on that platform alone for the Whitfield Report. And since Rumble is having like VOD issues, I do want to remind people that if you're not able to catch the show live, of course we appreciate people watching the show back on Rumble. But if you cannot catch the show on Rumble, you can always catch the show archive on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever. Links are in the description. And if you're
also on Twitter.
Yeah, and Twitter as well.
Speaking of Twitter, shout out to Joe in the chat. He's a Twitter buddy of mine.
Yeah, Joe also said Massachusetts. So fellow masshole in the chat.
Finish up, Sammy. You're in the middle of a sentence.
Very nice.
Sorry, Sammy.
No, not at all.
First.
Speaking of chat, though, if you want us to read your chat for sure, if you have something really important to say in chat that you really want us to get to, if you want to interrupt the show to say something, you can press that super chat button and leave us a donation. We realize that things are a bit tough right now, but we really do appreciate all of our donos and our subscribers too. Shout out to Dino Nuggies as well. And that's about all the promoing I have.
Yeah, and if you do like the show and you're not already, if you've just come across it, again, money's tight. The subscribe button helps a lot too. The more of that's real simple. That doesn't cost anybody anything.
Or just share the link is I find, because that's most of what I've been doing, like on a kind of back end side, right? The most of the promotion I've been doing for this show, Bits and Bones, or anything else, is literally just share the link. If you can share the link anywhere that people might be interested, that's probably the best way you could help us non-financially.
Yes.
Yep. Like, subscribe, the algorithm.
Like, comment, and subscribe, guys.
Yeah, of course. That's become a cliche, but it's that they say that for a reason, because it's I know. I even had to bust my radio guy voice out for it, right? It's because it's such a cliche, but it's true. It does help.
It is true.
That's why they say it, because it works and it helps.
Yeah, it's just been beaten to fucking death. I mean,
it sucks saying it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but at least the modern era, seemingly in my YouTube feed anyway, they don't say it anymore. There's just a little thing a little graphic that pops up on screen, reminding you that, hey, the button's right here, and it's not that intrusive, which is fine. I'm cool with that. And sometimes it actually reminds me, oh shit, I'm not subscribed. What? I've watched like 5 of these. I like this guy, or whatever, So.
Sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe you from channels that you've been subscribed to as well.
Exactly.
They've been doing that for years.
Thankfully, the good folks at Rumble don't do that. So that's awesome.
True that.
I mean, it's all technology, so shit does happen, You
right, like the VOD's not working. We're not giving Rumble a free pass across the board. The VOD's last week not working really bothers me.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna talk to them. I got Rumble Premium, so they'll definitely at least hear me out. That's why I have it, because they'll actually answer a ticket.
Nice.
Well, same reason why I verified the channel as well. So,
aside from us shilling our shit, though, Sam, what do we got tonight?
Well, we gave Morpheus a big pat on the back, and he deserves it. Bits and Bones was really successful, but ladies and gentlemen, Mort went above and beyond the Call of Duty this week, in my humble opinion. And
go ahead.
And people are like, oh, Mort's quiet. He doesn't say much. He's kind of mild mannered.
He's always polite. Yeah,
he's always polite. He's nicer than Sam in some cases, which I don't know if that's true.
Most cases. No, I'm not.
But one thing I will say is that Mort is just as savage as I am, in some cases more so. And we've been making fun of Mort. We've been making fun of Mersh the last few weeks, but to be honest, Mersh is kind of the entire internet's locale. To tie into
update, he's still fucking retarded, so we don't need to really do much else about it. Go ahead, Sam.
He's still a retarded Harvey Firestein, which is I literally thought about that yesterday and just started laughing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. My fucking cats, you guys. If you don't pay me money, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got all these cats.
No.
But anyway, we're not gonna talk about Mersh today.
Because Mort brought us to tie into the episode of the show. Mort brought us a locale of our own, and to tell us all about it. Morpheus, what have you been doing? See, this is why I need to chaperone you all the time on Twitter. If I leave you unattended, you attract, you bring in
I go 7 on people.
Yeah.
To be fair, I watched the whole thing go down from my Twitter feed, and even tried to engage this person, and they were hyper focused on Mort. And
laser beam focus on Mort. It was wild, right?
You're right. And honestly, Sammy, like not trying to downplay it, but you're making it sound like Mort went after this person when all Mort did was
it came after me.
It's like stand firm.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yeah. No, that's
you know what I mean? And he was smart. Yeah, there was some savage replies there for sure, but it was all based on
definitely didn't start anything.
No.
Yeah, no. I do want to clarify.
Big shout out to what the fuck is that guy's name? Political pop culture junkie on Twitter.
I was actually gonna tag. I was gonna tag him in like a link to the show, just so he could come and watch.
Pop culture political junkie on Twitter.
Yeah, or at Michael something. I remember that's his at.
Michael Cozy 9.
Yeah, we to be honest with you, we should have had this fucking whole Twitter interaction, like piece pasted together so we could show the audience right now, because it was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, now that's besides the point.
After the fact, I'll post it in the chat because I have
Well,
it.
well, do we get to like the pinnacle, like the peak
Hold-
of what was said, or what? Can we?
Do you
Well-
want to, for the audience? Do you want to start with like how
Yeah.
this all?
I don't even.
beginning?
Yeah, see, that's the thing though. Is like I don't even know how this all started because, like, obviously, more. I am giving you a little shit. I know you didn't start it, but like, how did you even find this person? Let's start with that.
Well,
I
first off,
didn't.
I didn't find them. They found
Yep.
me. I watched some ordinary gamers video earlier in the week.
As
about
many
a
many
little
people
grifter
did.
you may
The
or
one
may
about
not
Keffels, right?
be aware of, but by the name of Keffels.
Right.
But yeah,
Everybody
Keffels, yeah.
watched that. Is all I was trying to say. Sorry.
Keffels commented on the thumbnail, claiming that the thumbnail is transphobic. Blah blah blah. The artist lampoons literally everybody he does. So
Yeah,
there was no
they all look- though they-
transphobia there.
They all have the same greasy, fucking
Sweaty.
dark. It's gross.
I
They
was
look gross.
legitimately hoping he would draw like Sam and me. Because that's his art style. Like you either get it or you don't,
that'd be
right?
cool.
I can't imagine
Oh,
being mad if he drew us, because he would draw us ugly
no.
and sweaty.
Well, Sam, what's funny is Keffels has legitimately used his art in a past video.
Yes, he did.
Oh no way!
Yeah, he
See,
used Just a Worm's art of Vaush when she was.
Yeah.
She, whatever the fuck.
We don't have to respect that now here.
Yeah, right,
Yeah, no.
whatever. That was a slip of the tongue, because I've been reading a lot of shit from people that refer to Keffels as her, like a ton, even like the detractors and dissenters. But yeah, no, she used this. It's just the permanent victim card, right? It's
Yeah.
and it's important that normies are paying attention. I wouldn't say some ordinary game reviewers are, normies, but that's a wider audience at least.
Yeah, Mood is great.
But I don't know. Go ahead, continue with the story. Sorry.
But yeah, Keffels tried calling the thumbnail transphobic. I replied, "No, it's not, and here is why." And then this Michael Cozy, pop culture idiot, tries to white knight for Keffels, calling me literally every negative istophobe in the book, up to and including a fucking Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's break that one down. So obviously you're not black as far as we know, right?
No.
So why are you and Uncle Tom? Because like the audience, if they didn't see the interaction, isn't going to know. Why did this person call you, of all people, something that is specifically referred to for black people?
I'm assuming they used Uncle Tom as a slur for myself because I, quote unquote, don't support people like Sam and I that are in.
You don't support yourself at all.
Yeah.
Yo,
I don't support the collective people with disabilities.
I have breaking news.
which I just saw you retweet. Yeah.
T-Clips, an old, member of the sector just retweeted a Young Turks clip has the headline, "Keffels is a fraud." And then it's just a screenshot, but it says possibly use some of that money on drugs. And it's just that whatever that fucking witch-looking girl's name is.
It's under there. It says Keffels accused of misusing money her audience donated. If that
There
was
you
the
go.
only thing, right?
Holy shit. Well, yeah, but that's enough. Honestly, the rest is just, that's just, they can only hope to keep that shit under the fucking table for most people, but they won't. Just put a bigger fucking light on it.
Point being, this is a topic everyone's fucking talking about more casually of all people, because he's really not got like the spiciest takes in the world most of the time. Attracts this one guy. I just couldn't get over. He called him an Uncle Tom, because I'm like, that's double on your end, you fucking moron, because that also indicates that you're kind of a racist too. You idiot. The guy that said it,
Well, and then
Yep.
like I didn't interact with the guy as much as Mort did, but like the couple times I jumped in, I was like, you're not even, like, how are you saying like Mort is ableist or something like that? Because that this is the other thing. I don't know if
Oh,
you've
yeah,
ever.
and ableist.
I don't know if you've ever dealt with this, Mort, but like in my personal experience, I've dealt with this a lot where the troon portion of the trans.
Sorry, real quick. I'll be right back. I'll be back in a minute. I'm sorry. I got something really.
Okay.
No problem.
No problem. So more, I don't know if you've ever dealt with this, but in my experience, a lot of these troon type individuals, they like to conflate being disabled with being transgender. And it is the
Or in
weird,
that case, with being black.
right? But like, I'm just talking specifically with being disabled.
I know. I just wanted to point out that both are very strange comparisons, right?
Right. But I'm like, well, maybe this person is. So I asked this person, I'm like, okay, like, what's your disability? And they're like, oh, I'm missing my. They were like, I'm missing my spleen or something like,
Yeah.
like they're not wheelchair bound. They're like, 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 I guess if you're missing your spleen, like, that sucks, but like that's not the same thing as like being wheelchair bound.
Being crippled. It's not the same thing as being literally unable to like walk normally and have to go through fucking years of PT and live in a wheelchair and adjust to all of the shit. Like, it sucks that your spleen's gone, but comparing these two things makes you a dickhead.
And I don't know if you've dealt with people like this, but like for me, Morpheus, I'm like, I always want to scream at these people like, oh, so you're not actually disabled then.
Oh, I absolutely have dealt with these people. And what's funny about you bringing it up there, Sam, is literally this person was literally throwing every minority into the same fucking pot, including nationalities. Palestine, Hamas, Israeli, whatever, all in the same fucking pot. Like, we should fucking be standing up for literally all of it.
The last interaction I had with him, he was like, delete your account, you Israeli, you Israeli
apologist,
Islamic, Islamophobic,
That's the funny part is he's saying to Mort, oh, I'm gonna make you delete your account. By what? Tweeting stupid shit at him every day? Look, bro, he can just block you. He didn't block you because this has amused all of us. An entire community of people finds your antics fucking hysterical. And so Mort keeps it going. And like Apex pointed out earlier, and Sam has kind of suggested as well, he wasn't interested in me or Sam or Apex. He wants Mort for whatever fucking reason. And yeah, all it would take is a simple mute or a block, and you'd never hear from the guy again. So I don't know what he thinks he's accomplishing.
He thinks he's getting me riled up to the point where I'm gonna fucking delete my account, block him, mute him, whatever. Where I'm just sitting here fucking chilling. You guys know me, just chilling, reading this bullshit. I'm like, how does anybody think this?
And I hate to even use the word, but also ratioing him while you do. I don't like to use that word, but like he's getting like a like, and half of them are from himself, whereas yours are getting like retweeted. Like, look at this fucking stupid guy, right? So I don't know what he's accomplishing, making himself look like a goof. And I'm sorry to interrupt there.
It's just funny. He's literally throwing all of these negative stereotypes and negative names that, quite honestly, probably would have worked a decade ago. But because they're so overused, they mean nothing. Literally nothing.
it's almost cartoonish in my mind. Almost, it's like
Oh, I agree.
I just I quote tweeted I quote tweeted one of his tweets at you, and I just wrote like word salad. That was a little like caption because that's what it is. It's like, let's just take all the buzzword terms and just like throw
Literally
them
all
in, and then he thinks like he's going to like be, the other thing is like he thinks that like by defeating you somehow he's going to like win Keffels over and like become
Defending
Keffels.
The worst milady of all time.
Well, it's not even a lady. Like
No, milady. He's white knighting, right? Imagine miladying Keffels. You know what I mean? Like, I've saved you, milady. Worst milady of all time. Ever. Because dude looks like a lady or whatever.
Not just that. Not just that, but like, and I don't mean to be like I'm not being mean here, but like more in myself, like we're not really known, in that sector of the internet. So like, even if like
they did get a win, it would mean nothing.
It would be a bad milady because like even in their sector they would be like okay, like who?
Oh, like, you made fun of some guys in wheelchairs, huh? Good job.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
what just... a big win. What are you, Mersh? Oh, we weren't talking about Mersh. Never mind.
Oh well, I mean. Listen.
That's his new name. He's now Lefty Mersh.
Well, oh, you mean to say that like Mersh isn't already a lefty? But yeah, no, I just thought it was
well, funny. They do both hate Jews equal measure, so they got that going.
Yeah.
I just had fun watching all of it unfold, man. It was spec. And for once, I saw when you were trying to jump in, I was like, oh, this is gonna escalate. They were like, this guy was like, nope, I want Mort and Mort alone. Okay.
Yeah. I'm back just in time to say for sure, because I replied to that dude like excuse me, like fucking 6 times. And he just in the heat of battle, and he just ignored me completely. So he was
same.
I don't know. It's like a hitman. Somebody got a hit out on you, Mort.
No, I know why. I know why. Because he's got more Twitter followers than all of us. That's why it was.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh,
why.
Mort, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's literally it. But it's so funny because it makes it so obvious too, right? Is like that's got to be the only reason.
Well, what's funny is most of those Twitter followers that I have are from my wrestling days.
Yeah, I figured. It's you talk to a lot of like wrestling guys and whatnot, but it doesn't matter. They see that number, right? And they're like, oh yeah, this is the guy I gotta talk about because his followers are gonna be, and most of them couldn't give a fuck less about this conversation unless you quote tweet something funny he said.
What?
You know what? Go ahead, Sammy.
No, what's funny, Morpheus, is like our mutual friend Jimmy actually DM'd me, and like Jimmy was actually kind of getting like why is this guy responding to me? I've been mocking him for like 3 hours, and I'm like Jimmy, don't take it personally, but like he's not making fun of any. He's not responding to any of us. He's just like solely focused on more. So,
I think he wants to fuck you, Mort.
It was
not my type.
Probably
it was fun. You know what? if you are listening to this now and you have a an X account, formerly known as Twitter, I will never not call it Twitter.
Same.
Just not a knee jerk.
Same.
You should go and subscribe. You should go follow this guy and maybe have some fun because he seems like he's
retweet.
there.
Give him engagement. This man needs engagement.
That's why he was only going at Mort, because he clearly, there's like some clout to be gained potentially. And there, as I said in our group chat, this is either a 65-plus-year-old fucking boomer retard, or they're like 12 years old or younger, and also retarded.
Yeah, we should catch up on chat now that you put that up.
Thank you, Joe.
We might need proof. I know Sam's a sexy beast. I've seen his toes. I've seen this babe with no shirt, so you're good. You're a very nice man, Mort. You know what? I'll give you sexy beast.
I'll take Joe's word for it. I believe.
Me too.
Look, I've seen Morpheus. People think I just made up the fact that he's a cyborg. I'm not kidding. Like,
is he a handsome cyborg?
Oh, he's a very handsome cyborg.
Of course he is.
Cyborg. Have you seen the avatar I made for him?
I haven't.
He looks like a detective. He's like
a Twitter avatar. I've never actually looked at it.
Yeah, he's a.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's also my.
That's dope, actually.
I don't know why you smoke cigarettes though. More as a cyborg.
Why the fuck not?
Well, he's a cyborg.
I guess not.
Well, it's a cyborg, so it's not going to hurt my health.
Right.
True.
He can just have the lungs cleaned. You see.
Yeah.
Just take a vacuum
true.
And shove the vacuum up my lungs.
You probably got filters in that shit, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That too.
You just change those out.
So.
Yeah.
So
that was
also in chat. I thought was funny. We were talking about like the disabilities people have. Chibi says, "I'm missing my brain." That's my favorite. That disability seems to be very common on the internet, actually.
Yeah.
I think I saw on some lady show recently that she would rather run into a bear in the woods than a man. Am I misremembering?
No, you're correct.
Oh,
she did say that initially, but her reasoning was more about survival. Like, she's like, I can eat the bear. She just assumed possibility.
Right.
And then 2, she also assumed she's going to win.
Sure.
Which is fair. I actually like that answer a lot better than the other broads who were just like, men are scary.
I was just giving her shit because she said she had no brain. I was just playing into it. But no, of course she does.
Well, I mean, Chibi hangs out with us, so clearly she has to have a brain.
So there's no accounting for taste.
Sure. Hey, look, I will say, excuse me, the group, there's quite a lot, quite a variety of us, to be honest with you. Maybe not politically necessarily, but other than the 2 cripples, we got various types of retards.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
Joe,
a bunch of artists as well.
Artists of various types. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Joe makes a good point of saying, I find myself arguing with Christians the most on X, and I'm a Christian. Same here. Actually, Joe.
There's a lot of Christian grifters out there, and so I don't argue with grifters, but I could feel what he's saying, though. Like, if I was a Christian, I would be like, you motherfuckers are all... There's so much bullshit, Mm-hmm. A lot of it, like... My favorite is when I'm reading what somebody's saying, and it's like a misunderstanding of the most basic Christian philosophy. And it's just like I don't know. I tend to want to correct them, and then immediately I'm like, it's not worth the argument.
Yeah. Well, that's like we talked about last week, Max, with the Boy Scouts, where it's like the Boy Scouts are gone, so therefore follow Andrew Tate, and it's like, no, that's not a good idea.
No.
I had a moment about the Boy Scout thing, Sam, is I noticed my wife, she'll put anything that comes home with the boy from school, right, will get put on, if it's an advertisement for something or whatever, it gets put up on the fridge, right? And so I go up to the fridge and she's got hung up on there, join the Boy Scouts of America. And I'm like, motherfucker, you haven't even updated your flyers yet, huh? And I ripped it up in a fit of rage, like a child, because I was so mad because I can't have my son join the proper Boy Scouts like I did.
Right.
And Joe, you are a gamer dad. You chill with the boys, with your boys, and you play games. You're a gamer dad.
After that long spiel I gave earlier, there's only 2 likes on this video, and there's 12 people watching. Chat, come on, give us a hand. Go hit that like button.
That's right. Up finger the video.
Yeah, finger that fucking thing.
and actually, I'm fingered at least 12 times. There's 12 people here.
Thank you, Joe. That's exactly. There was just 13. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to read the Uncle Tom tweet. I got it up here. Oh, so you're an Uncle Tom who doesn't believe in standing in solidarity with the LGBTQIA people who might have learning or physical disabilities. Same thing if they are Eastern European or Palestinian.
Yeah, you're not intersectional enough, Morpheus.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and you're just like, yes, this is true. All except the Uncle Tom part, because that's not only like a stupid thing to say. If you're calling somebody an ist and a phobe and all that, careful with the Uncle Tom references.
Right?
It seemed like they just ran through the gamut of...
Oh, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, literally. And that's the only one they didn't use. So...
Well, Joe Fish in chat earlier said, yeah, they conflated a lot together and it was complete chaos. Yeah, every minority is the same. And if you're not with their communist agenda, then you're an Uncle Tom. What the fuck? How are these people real?
They basically did. Part of me thinks that maybe
if you don't support current thing, you're an Uncle Tom.
Well, part of me honestly at one point did wonder if this was maybe like one of those Russian troll farms that we keep hearing.
Honestly, at this point, it's more likely Chinese than it is Russian.
Well, Chinese probably. Point being, like, it's one of those foreign agent troll farms we keep hearing about. So
they're simply focused on more.
Quite amusing, though. I hope the feud continues.
I hope for more of that shit. I enjoy Twitter, and I enjoy shit talking, but for whatever reason, I don't do much of it lately. I just kind of observe, and I find myself typing and deleting a lot more than I send. Just because I'm like, I don't really want to deal with it.
No, I do that too. It's like I have an argument with somebody and then just decide, yeah, you know what? I got better shit to do.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys ever if this happens to you, but like, I like visualizing this guy or gal, whoever they are. I like to imagine them like frantically like typing away at their keyboards or at their phone, like just hoping Morpheus deletes their account, and just like seething that they won't. That, like, visualizing it to me is funny.
And also the idea of like, I'm going to win one for the revolution. Check it out. I get a guy with like 1,500 followers on Twitter to delete his account. We won, guys.
Yeah.
So stupid. You can tell it's a slow news week, ladies. What else we got? Trump said he'll debate. Biden said he'll debate back. They're gonna fucking yell at each other.
Oh, hold on. I got news. Stormy Daniels is supposedly going to
leave.
No, here is breaking news about that. It was her husband that reported that, and like, to me, that's the news. Is that like she has a husband? I'm not like, I know that people in porn can obviously get married, but like
usually they either have the cuck husband or the pimp husband.
Right.
I'm guessing the cuck.
He seems more cuck than pimp.
Well,
just at a glance.
Well, I think the funny thing though is that like everyone, even on both sides, are like, wait, she's married? Like, and yeah, it's like the headline was like, if Trump isn't died, we're gonna leave the country, and everyone's like, okay, cool, see ya.
Like all the celebrities that said that if he won, they would leave, and they're still fucking here. Just shut up with your fucking threats. If you're not going to do it, I'd respect a far left. Honestly, if a far lefty said, if Trump won the election, I'm leaving this, and they did, I'd be like, good on you.
Good on you.
Yeah, that's being consistent. Also, one less fucking communist. Who cares?
Yeah. Also for people who DM'd me on Twitter about this last week, yes, I did see that Howard Stern interviewed Joe Biden, and I even watched like 10 minutes of it, but it was so boring that like I didn't want to subject these fine gentlemen to it, because
it sounds like a snoozer. I'm not gonna lie.
It's Howard basically just being like, oh God, I'm so nervous because I'm interviewing the president, and then him asking questions at like his dad.
Oh yeah, yeah, I did see that, or I didn't see it, but I saw that it happened, but it quickly vanished from my feed, and I completely forgot about it until you just mentioned it.
Yeah,
but it did make me think. I saw a clip of Bill Burr on the Bill Maher podcast, and it was pretty funny. So I might watch that.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw it's like 7 minutes of just Bill Burr ripping on Bill Maher, and actually both having a good time about it.
Yeah, and well, the crux of what I remember was Maher was like lamenting Ukraine and Israel and Hamas, and just going on about how he was just talking really, I don't know, like he does, I guess, animated, and like he had all the answers, like, oh, they just need to stop fucking, they need to give up the hostages and stop killing Israelis. And Bill's like, just shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you? You're not a fucking general, dude. And just basically calling him on being some douchebag that is on TV. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and neither do most of us. So
that's why we don't talk a lot about like war strategy on this show or anything, because it's not like, no, you don't know what's going on the ground there. My God, the fog of war in the best of times, when there's not propaganda machines on both sides spewing everything under the fucking sun, is still hard to get what actually happened.
Even, it's funny you bring that up, Max, because like, even when I interviewed my friend Etna, who lives in Israel, and that was kind of my point in interviewing her, like, even the people who live there in Israel, like, yeah, they're a little more tuned to it than the rest of us, like, here in America, because like it's literally in their backyard.
They've heard of the town before, as opposed to us who haven't, kind of thing.
But even so, but yeah, like they're a little more in tune, but like just slightly. Like she, like when I interviewed her, she was like literally said like, I don't know, like I'm just trying to make sure that my family stays safe and that we don't get bombed. But like other than that,
Yeah,
Matt,
like most fucking people, right?
Yeah, like literally 99% of the people on either side of that conflict. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people were like disappointed that like I didn't ask her about like, oh, what would your military strategy be? And I'm like, dude, she's like she's a mom.
Yeah.
She's the Israeli equivalent of like a suburban housewife and a mom.
No, everybody's an armchair fucking general now. So we all know, exactly what's going on, how the front looks. We've seen the map. You've played Hearts of Iron before. Clearly, you know everything. I don't get into that. You don't get into that. It's just not kind of a thing here because
I
look,
mean,
there's channels that do really, really well off of doing exactly that. So I'm not saying nobody will.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, and I agree with you both entirely. But on the other side, I do think, healthy speculation, it also could encourage everybody involved and who might listen to do some research. Because, the fog of war is real, but the equivalent of, sticking our heads in the sand and just, oh yeah, well, maybe not paying attention, but not talking about it on a platform we have, as small as it may be, it could grow. The whole point of doing this is we're trying to spread our
right. Well, I do have a platform that, and I regularly espouse it in regards to this.
Sure.
America first. That's my platform, right? And so like, I can empathize with the plight of actually either side, which gets me in trouble if nowadays, you support genocide if you like either side, or if you say, hey man, war sucks and I just wish people would stop killing each other. Yeah, that's corny, but that's what I actually truly believe.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what my point is exactly. I just think like,
don't be completely ignorant is a good point.
Right. And I don't even mean, I do mean that, but they don't really equate real, actually paying attention and then talking about it on a show. You could know things that you don't talk about on the show. You could pay attention to things that you don't mention, that we don't talk about here. So I don't know. I just think my main point is content. Like it is, just talking about
content
and speculating about this, that, or the other, especially things going on in the world. I saw a ship crash into another bridge today, or I didn't see it, but saw the news of, I think it was Galveston.
I had a story that you might actually find some interest in.
What's that?
I was going to bring this up. So Shmuley brought shout out to Shmuley, obviously. Then half the chat's like, who Shmuley? But Shmuley brought this to my attention. We come from like the kind of like post-libertarian scene, I guess you could say, to some degree. And so we know some of the major like libertarian heads. And actually, as a person that went to like a Mises Institute fellowship program, this kind of is a personal thing to me. So the Mises Institute has decided that they are disfellowing Walter Block. Now, most of you are going to be like, who? And then who?
Yeah, time out. Fine. For the people, what is the Mises organization?
Okay, so the Mises Institute is an organization based on Mises writing like Human Action and many of his other books and Austrian economics school.
Okay. Author. Okay.
So it's a libertarian think tank based on an author from he's long dead, obviously, but
I see. Okay, sorry, I didn't even know what it was.
No, because that's why I said most of the people are going to say who and then who. So I will explain both, and I'll explain why this is bullshit and why, once again, libertarians are their own worst enemy. So Walter Block is a professor at Loyola University. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. And he has been there for a very long time. He's written several books in a series called Defending the Undefendable. And what he will do is he'll defend certain practices that a lot of people would just immediately shit on with hypotheticals. That's kind of his thing. His whole thing is hypothetical economics, talking about interactions between people and voluntary versus involuntary. Okay, that's his whole bit. And he's always consistently 100% of the time been very, very anti-war. The reason they are disfellowing him and kicking him out is because he said in one of those hypothetical examples, imagine if a person pulls a gun on you and they're wearing a child as a vest. Okay? Is it moral to shoot at them, potentially harming the child to protect yourself? And he said, by libertarian principle and the non-aggression principle and all that, yes, it is moral to defend yourself, even if there is potential casualties. Now, he didn't say this in reference to Israel. He didn't say this in reference to Palestine. He just said that example. And then later on, they asked him about Israel, and he reiterated the example and said, yes, in this case, I would say the same thing. He's not making a value judgment. He's not making a stance. He's saying if you go, it's like an equation, right? If you take the root of the equation, which is what they call the non-aggression principle, right? Following that, using violence to defend yourself is okay. And it's not your fault if the person doing the violence puts it into such a situation that casualties can occur that are not you or that other person. And so it's okay for people to wage a war of self-defense, of national defense. That's what he said. And I am extremely disappointed in one of my heroes, and like a personal hero of mine, somebody that I've interacted with, Hans Hermann Hoppe, who also is denouncing this guy over it. And he's worked with him for 40 years. If you don't understand Walter Block's bit, you're not as smart as I thought you were, Mr. Hoppe. I'm sorry to say it, but you're wrong. And you guys are essentially just smashing this guy's free speech. And he's been the biggest advocate for anarcho-capitalism and libertarians of basically anybody since Rothbard died. I know, again, a lot of this means nothing to most people who hear it, but I want to call out the libertarians on this one, whether people care or not, because they need to be fucking called out with their anti-free speech bullshit. Libertarians, the Libertarian Party in particular, has become the most anti-free speech party that exists. Democrats are more pro-free speech than the Libertarians.
I can actually attest to that, Max, because when I was at the Young Americans for Liberty conference a few years ago with my buddy, I actually brought up the fact like Trump was the most libertarian was actually the closest to a libertarian president we had, and the reply was, "Oh, Trump's a statist,"
right?
And all I did was ask them what that meant, and they were just like, "Trump's a statist." Like they didn't answer; they just repeated what they said, and I'm like, "Okay, but what does that mean?"
That's an old libertarian tactic, right? It's just yell statist, and I win.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the woke people yelling racist or Nazi to a libertarian. And the reason that is, you know, for the audience, because you know what it means now if you didn't at the time, but like they're calling somebody a statist saying you're in favor of a government at all. Not you're in favor of a huge authoritarian government, like because most of them lean on the side of anarcho-capitalism. And whatever I think about that's irrelevant to the conversation. But because they come from that mindset, then saying statist is a slur. Whereas, like, if you're more of a like a minarchist, like a Styx Hexenhammer style, where you believe in a small government, he's a statist to them. They don't like him. It's a purity spiral. It's a pissing contest, and the pissing contest has now driven out one of the most thought-provoking leaders in libertarianism since at least the fucking 70s, in Walter Block, who is a highly decorated and smart individual.
I will say,
I'm not an anarcho-capitalist, but I will defend Walter Block on this. This is bullshit.
I don't know shit about this world. I mean, all of the further it sucks getting old because you have to fucking start paying attention to politics. I've avoided it at all costs because it's all so fucking gay and fake as shit, and it's all made up
like
and
this.
yeah, and fit. Like it's ethereal. It's not fucking real. It just whatever. But
you're trying to make ends meet, which seems a hell of a lot more important.
Of course, yeah. I mean, this world's fucking complicated enough without trying to pay attention to what the goddamn people running shit are doing. But maybe that's just my simple mind. But my point is, if libertarianism has any sort of future, then this man that you're talking about will be, idolized in the future. I think what's happening. And I mean, I know it's happening. We're watching it all over the fucking place. Every single thing in this country, especially anything important or potentially important or groundbreaking, has been infiltrated on so many levels, whether foreign or domestic. Like, I mean, we've seen it at least a handful of times. I can't think of any examples, but things like, I don't know, man.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I can talk about my history with the LP and why I say some of the things I do, and it might fill in some of those blanks for you, actually.
Sure.
So I was kicked out of the Libertarian Party, both of Massachusetts and I think the National Party, although I'm not sure about that. And the thing about the Libertarian Party is it's a shit show. Whether it's your state party or the National Party, it's a shit show. So I have a anecdote from a younger guy, actually, somebody that you guys might know, but I won't name him. If he wants to tell his story later, he can. He went to a Libertarian Party meeting when he was a teenager, still in high school. And before he walked out, they were trying to get him to run for treasurer of their political party under penalty of federal crimes. Why? Because they're so hard up, Sam, in most of these libertarian parties locally or statewide, that they have to get anybody who comes in into a position within the party. The thing is, treasurer for a political party is a very risky thing to offer to like a 16 or 17. I'm not sure at the time. I know he was a minor at the time,
right,
when this was offered to him. He wasn't even old enough to vote, and they wanted him to be and for my part, the first meeting I went to, as you know, Sam, I'm more of like a Pat Buchanan, small government, but not from the libertarian side. I like Ron Paul, but I disagree about trade and some other things. Yeah, I come from that point, so I have a lot in common with libertarians, and my choices in some of these elections were like Obama or Romney, and so yes, I did vote for Gary Johnson that year because neither one of those is going to get my vote. So I go to the Libertarian Party meeting, Sam. They're trying to get me to run for office day one. They don't know who I am. I walked in off the streets looking like I do with the fucking hair and everything. And they're like, you should run for state representative. They do that to everybody that walks through the fucking door. But then it's all purity testing. You see, because the Libertarian Party is a mix of small government libertarians who want to spread the message of limited government and liberty through the political system, knowing they're not going to win. It's what you would call a vanguard party. Right. The other half of the party is a vanguard too, but they're a vanguard for abolish all government. They are anarchists.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a shit show. Nothing gets accomplished at these meetings. They all pat themselves on the back about how great it was that they did this, and they have no sense of how the wider world sees them. For example, 2016? Yeah. 2016 was the last time Gary Johnson ran, correct? I didn't vote for him that fucking time, and even if Trump wasn't running, I sure as fuck wouldn't have, because he made a fucking fool of himself. Now, yes, the average person didn't know where Aleppo was. The people laughing at him also didn't know where Aleppo was. That's not what I'm talking about, though. One, The average person doesn't have to know where Aleppo was because they're not running for the fucking presidency. But more important than that, okay, is his freakouts about pot. Now, Sam famously, I smoke pot on the show all the fucking time, so I'm not anti-pot. Right?
You do? Oh, I quit. I'm out of here.
I'm not anti-pot. But this dude, if you ever get the chance to watch the video, Gary Johnson gets interviewed by a reporter in 2016 after the election that he's lost, right?
Yeah.
And he just starts screaming, "We were the first ones that wanted to legalize pot. Everybody should have voted for me," and just has a fucking conniption fit.
Right.
Was
you
it
didn't
Gary?
even get in the debates. What did you think was going to happen?
Was it Gary Johnson that in one of the libertarian debates? I'm assuming
faked a heart attack.
No.
Well, yes, he faked a heart attack, but what else?
That's not what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Where they were asked about driver's license, and everybody's like, no, and he was like, I think some sort of, whatever the fucking phrase he used, and the whole crowd was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, that's
you know
what I mean. It's a purity,
common sense. That seems common sense to me, man.
It's an absolute purity test as soon as you're in that party. If you have any opinions that are if you think that a standing army is something that a nation might want, you're a statist. Boo. If you think roads cannot, or not that they can't, but if you think roads being produced by the government isn't the worst thing in the fucking world, boo. All these little things, and they don't understand why they drive everyone away. Now they're purity testing literally the most pure ANCAP alive today in Walter Block.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Fuck the Libertarian Party. Fuck the Mises Institute. And I never thought I would say that. I'm a goddamn former member. Former now.
Yeah. Libertarianism was first introduced to me by Ron Paul. And to be honest with you, from what I remember of those days, that I still agree with 90% of what I remember. That
kicked him out of the party too, if you didn't.
Of course.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. When I went to YaleCon with my buddy, we actually got to meet Apex. You remember that because I actually streamed from the road with my friend, and we actually got to meet Ron Paul. And I shit you not, at the conference there were actually, the other thing too is like most libertarians are like autistic as fuck, literally.
Yeah,
and
that would explain a lot.
And there were autistic debates on two things I really had an issue with. One was, well, Ron Paul is not actually a libertarian, and here's why. Like, there were actually arguments about that, right?
Of course.
And
purity test, like I said.
Who technically found? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sam.
But the bigger argument that I had. But the bigger argument that was had there, I had a huge problem with was, well, there shouldn't be age of consent laws at all.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And it's not because I'm a pedophile. It's because I just don't believe in state laws, man. At all. Like,
which is fucking insane to say out loud. You've got to, I mean, even if you believe some obscure version of that, you cannot just fucking come out and say it like that. That is fucked up.
What started me doing live streams like about politics was a guy literally making the argument that, in an anarchist society, people wouldn't care about that. So I jumped in to say, are you fucking crazy? The average person, because the libertarian argument in one case is self-ownership. So they're saying that you don't own the child owns themselves, and therefore they can make that decision, blah, 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 blah. That is nobody buys that except for them. So they're making an argument that the vast majority of people are just going to laugh at or be disgusted by. But the other more kind of sinister aspect of it is just that you don't want to pay to suppress pedophiles, and therefore, in an anarchist society, this is what this guy's argument was, that nobody would pay to, if his argument was like, if the most important person in your town was a pedo or a dog fucker or something, that people would allow it to happen because he's important to the town and the economy. And I just said, that's not true. So like, it essentially, like, let's say you only have one doctor in town and he's a pedophile.
Yeah.
He thinks that nobody would do anything about that.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I guess technically in a just world, a pedophile would just be fucking murdered by the people in the neighborhood shortly after they committed a crime. You know what I mean? There wouldn't, but that's not, I don't know. That's not necessarily a just world.
And also the accused, guy that didn't do nothing wrong gets it too. That's exactly the point of a criminal justice system at all.
Yeah, right. Just because
that makes us fucking statist.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that sounds incredibly fucking infuriating.
The Libertarian Party got to where it was for two reasons, and they shit on one of them. The one is Ron Paul. Okay, nobody introduced more people to the term or the ideas of libertarianism than Ron Paul ever, right? And that's what
I was going to ask, was who was like technically the founder of the party. But go ahead, sorry.
The founder of the party would have been Murray Rothbard, who was an anarcho-capitalist, but he also wrote and this is where anarchists get mad at me, but like, I'm a big Rothbard fan. He wrote a paper called Unleash the Police, right? And so he wasn't exactly like a pure ANCAP. What he was saying in the article is, you may need in a society like we have to actually just let the cops deal with crime on a case-by-case basis, and then assess damages when they're in error and stuff like that. But you got criminals in the streets, you got bums everywhere, homeless people, you got this, you got that going on. Murray Rothbard, literal founder of the word anarcho-capitalism, right, says you should unleash the police to take care of these problems. He was also for immigration restrictions and things. So what happened, not to get too much into the autism of it, but what happened is, after Bernie Sanders lost in 2016, the head of the Libertarian Party for the time, Dan Fishman, who I know personally, and I actually was a big fan of his up until that point. The man can give a great speech and he knew what he was talking about. He decided that we should appeal to the Bernie bros. And so they brought in mass people like Vosh, like literal communists calling themselves libertarians. That's the party now. Vosh is the Libertarian Party. He's speaking at their convention.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That makes perfect sense to me, though. I mean, again, infiltrated just like every fucking thing else that used to mean something at some point in our recent past.
Mm-hmm. Bernie bros became libertarian, or at least some of them did. That's why you see what you see now. When you see their candidate coming in the next election and the crazy shit he's going to say, he's kind of on board with that too. Oftentimes you got to be really woke. And so while I was kicked out the final time of the Mass Libertarian Party Association, because they're not actually a party here, they said anybody that went to the Straight Pride Parade in Boston would be kicked out. So I am one of, I think, 3 or 4 people in the country since the 1860s to get kicked out of a political party for going to a legal protest.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy.
Which is why I say the libertarians are less free speech than any other party.
So then why, Max, is it that whenever I Google like Barry Goldwater, because Barry Goldwater, for those who don't know, was like the stand bearer of conservatism back in the 60s before Reagan was conservative, because Reagan used to be a liberal, actually.
An actual Democrat.
But back in the days when it was just like when Nixon was the Republican stand bearer, you also had Barry Goldwater. And so, like, why does Barry Goldwater get associated with libertarianism so much if he was actually like a Republican? And yes, I do. And yes, Apex, I do know I look like I'm asleep and come back to life.
You look like you were falling out of your chair for like a minute, and then as soon as Max finished his sentence, you were like, "Bink!" Like, what a pro, man. Except for the falling asleep part.
The Barry Goldwater thing is a similar thing to Ron Paul, because Ron Paul famously is a Republican,
right?
And Rand Paul's a Republican too. The thing is like you could be a Republican who's what in libertarian autism terms they call it small L, because a capitalized L means the party, small L means you're kind of on the side of like limited government, and that's a fine way to kind of look at it. So there's a lot of small L Republicans that would be fine by most people who would identify as libertarian. The problem is the Libertarian Party is not most people do identify libertarian when you explain it to them. Actually, most Americans do.
Yeah, me included.
The thing is they don't know about all of the party and the stupid garbage. They're like, yes, I do believe the government's a bit too big and should stay out of my fucking business.
I think it's safe to say that we're all kind of small L libertarians.
Right. But they don't have stars of their own among the libertarian world. So they need guys like Ron Paul, but they used him up and they spit him out. He wasn't a founder of the party, but he was in the foundational like charter, and he donated a gold coin to them that was worth a lot of money that was used to fund their fucking treasury. And they banned him not only from speaking at the convention in 2020, but from showing up at all.
Unbelievable.
So he said, I want my fucking gold coin back. I don't know if they gave it to him.
You know, it sucks when I really think about it is the way our government is formed is kind of ideal at its base, you know, many, many, many years ago. But I don't even imagine how it's possible to reel that shit back, you know, for, I don't know. That's just that's very black pilled,
but like a cheap plug for friend of the show, Kurt Doolittle can. And I actually believe in his strategy. And that's kind of what I've been both subtly and very obviously pushing on the show since I started. But his strategy is very simple at this point. It's like, well, lawfare is where it's at. If you don't use it revolves around the idea of redress of grievances from the First Amendment, right? So we have a right. Well, a lot of people don't know this. The First Amendment gives you the right to the redress of grievance by the government. Like, if you protest, the government has to say, well, this is why, or they have to give you some kind of fucking answer.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, but that's a right in the First Amendment. You could look it up. And so, proper course for redress of grievance, well, we've done most of them. The one that we haven't really sunk our teeth into, at least from like our perspective, is the legal system. And so if that's the last court of appeal, essentially the last place you could seek a redress of grievance, then it is our duty, our responsibility to seek that avenue. And yes, the one black pill guy out there, yes, it's probably likely not going to succeed.
But it's better than nothing.
But the justification for something else, because something else is going to be bad, okay, is that we have tried every single step to seek that redress we are promised and been denied. That's it.
Chibi, I just have to say, no, you.
Oh no, we're gay as shit. I'm definitely, look, our little bromance has been a meme for a long time.
No, as I'm not disagreeing. I'm also just saying no, you. So
she's here, so she's definitely gay with us. Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
That would look funny with two crippled fuckers and two able-bodied fuckers in the corner fucking around.
Two cripples and a couple retards.
Yes.
So all that to say, go check out Walter Block if you haven't. Defending the Undefendables are really good reads. he does stuff like defending the drug dealer, right? Defending prostitute, defending the there's all kinds of really interesting ones too in there. Like he defends price gouging, actually. And a lot of people get really mad that you would even say that. But if you read his logical defense of it, you can kind of make a case that it makes sense. Regardless, the guy he is challenging, okay? But getting kicked out of the Mises Institute makes me so mad. And I am done with this. Whatever else we got, Sam, or we can wrap it up. Or
yeah, I was going to say,
the floor is y'all's.
We either need to let Sam talk for a little bit, or we might need to let him go to sleep.
Well, I do want
to covered all the news we intended to.
Well, yes. I thought there was one more. Was there not? Did we get it all? I thought Sam had one.
We got most of it. I do want to address one thing real quick.
Stormy Daniels.
Well,
okay. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Max, that reminds me. We forgot to talk about RFK's brainworms last week.
Right. Oh my God. I didn't get a chance to talk about brainworm, man.
Yeah, so
isn't it amazing, Sam, that the top 3 contenders for the presidency in 2024, only one of them has a full working brain?
Yeah.
As far as we can tell.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Explain. I've missed the whole brainworm thing. What's that? Did he say he had a brainworm?
No, he did. He actually did have a brainworm. Like it was
really?
So he thought he had a tumor, and it was actually one of the pork tapeworms, I guess. And apparently it's a really rare thing that happens. But if you eat uncooked pork, the fucking tapeworm can get into your bloodstream and very rarely will end up in the brain. And apparently ate a little tiny bit of his brain. And so when he went and he's getting headaches and memory loss, right? And so I'm not even making fun of him yet. We'll get to when I make fun of him, but this is just like the fact, right? They saw the thing. They thought it was a tumor. When they got in there, it was actually just a dead worm. Obviously it wasn't too much damage. It's like he can still walk and talk just fine.
But the talk part. But
yeah. Yeah, he could talk better than Biden, which is a low bar. But yeah, so he literally got brain damage from this worm in his brain. And I was surprised people didn't know that because it was a hilarious joke fucking 10 years ago. But yeah, brainworm for president. I even said, if you went back to all the times I was making fun of RFK, I have definitely called him worm brain on the show before this story.
Yes, you have.
Because that's public knowledge here.
Sammy, speaking of RFK, have you seen anything? I saw something about him being able to meet the criteria to join the debate or one of the debates.
He has not.
True? No?
He has not met any of the criteria. What he's trying to get done is he's trying to demand either one of the other guys will debate him at the Libertarian Party convention, which neither one of them will go to.
Fucking, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's just clout chasing. It's kind of sad.
I don't know. I've seen like some credible journalists being like, "Oh, well, this is interesting." Like, quote, I've not looked into it at all, of course, because I don't fucking care. But just glancing by.
Some people on the left in particular like him because he is not as pro-Israel as Biden. And some people on the right like him because he's like anti-vaccine. I would say he's anti all vaccines across the board.
Right, which is bad. That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, well, some people think that's not, but whatever. I want to be clear what his position is, right? And because he thinks vaccines cause autism. And
he's
also very anti-gun. Like his proposal is he would ban guns.
Yep.
Yeah, like he's actually more anti-gun than his uncle was.
He's more anti-gun than anybody in the Democrat Party is right now, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking crazy because I have seen some of that too. And him been on Joe Rogan and all. I mean, he seems to be fucking everywhere. the last year or two, and that is not mentioned enough. You see it in obscure clips here or there, more or less, unless you watch the whole.
Well, because they want him to pull from Trump. But I think what's going to happen, and I said this last summer, I think, on the show, is he's going to pull votes from Biden, and that's it. And now more than ever, because now with the Israel thing, a lot of people who were Biden voters previously are not going to vote for him in 2024.
Oh.
I don't know how many that number is, but it's certainly a percentage.
He's definitely pulling from Biden.
Which, by the way, people, I do want to bring this up real quick. People think that because I quoted JFK in the beginning of my book, The Fourth Estate, people think I endorsed Robert Kennedy. No, I was quoting JFK about secret societies.
Yeah, Robert Kennedy Jr. never met JFK, by the way. He was dead when the guy was born.
As were like an odd number of his family members.
Yeah, little Bobby Kennedy, his dad was like yay high. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That Kennedy, the whole Kennedy family, it almost makes me think that there's some sort of mystical fucking bloodline that they're attached to. There's some, you know what I mean?
It's people
weird.
Around here call it the Kennedy curse for real. Like,
yeah, no, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
I mean, maybe let's give the last one a brainworm, then we don't got to worry about him, you know.
Well, but then there's all the awful shit they do that nobody seems to care about, like Ted Kennedy killing a woman, or
Chappaquiddick,
or Patrick Kennedy. How about current fucking member of Congress Patrick Kennedy raping a woman on the fucking beach while Ted Kennedy watched, and Robert Kennedy Jr. is alleged to have been there too, watching.
I mean, isn't there's mafia JFK's dad with the mafia tie? Isn't that something that I've heard?
They were bootlegging.
Yeah,
that's what got the money for the initial campaign to run him for Massachusetts Senate.
Yeah, and if you're into the JFK assassination conspiracies, which I kind of am since I write thrillers, one of the theories is that the mob whacked JFK because they were upset with the old man.
Yeah, that's been one of the main potential or like theories for a long time, right? Like a mob hit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was a mob hit by the biggest fucking gang in the world, our government.
The Soviets.
With the help of the CIA.
Yeah, a Soviet citizen comes over, shoots the president, and nobody wants to talk about the fact that a Soviet shot the fucking president. Why? You know what? I've said this before on the show, and I stand by it. The conspiracy theories were created by the government because they didn't want you to know the truth, because the truth would start World War III, is that the Soviets killed the president.
Yeah, I mean, the term conspiracy theory was was invented by the government. Yeah.
Right. And so they created all the different JFK scenarios. The guy was a Soviet citizen, then went to Cuba, and like 6 months later shows up in America and shoots the president.
Yeah.
Which, you know what, Sammy, since it's in your hand, if you're into that sort of thing,
there's a lot of cool shit in this book I found.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam, you got the same book. Isn't that cool?
A John Ryder thriller by Sam Whitfield. You can get it on Amazon. Is it available on audiobook yet or no?
It is. Available on Audible. Yeah.
Wow. And by the way, having now listened, because I asked you about the audiobook a couple weeks ago, right? That guy is great.
Oh, Doug Green? Yeah, he's
awesome.
That might be the best way. If you're into audiobooks, that might be the best way to experience both of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, people ask me why I don't read the audiobooks, and honestly, it's because I'm good at doing commentary. I'm not good at doing dramatic reading at all.
Right.
And so, but I wanted to find a guy who is good at reading.
Your strength, right?
Yeah. And Doug Green, who by the way, Doug usually charges for, up front for, to do, audiobook readings. But when I put this script out there, like I put this script out there on Audible's like audiobook thing, and he actually reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I'll just take part of the royalty, and which is a way that you can pay the narrators." So
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, like
So there's like no guaranteed payment. It depends on how well it sells, right?
right.
And you
for
could
both
tell
ways.
he liked the material just by
That's
listening
fucking
to him
cool,
read it.
man. That's
Yeah.
fucking cool. I like that.
Yeah, no,
Definitely. Big shout out to Doug because those audiobooks are fantastic.
I was actually shocked that he wanted to that he approached me about it.
That's
But you know,
that's awesome, dude. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
and I mean I wish I could promote him because like he's fantastic. But he doesn't he's actually not on social media. He told me he doesn't really like he's
very smart.
He's a smart man. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
He's smart. He's basically all I know about him is that he's a retired like broadcaster from Connecticut who was like on sports radio in Connecticut for like 40 years, and
yes, he was the voice of the Huskies.
Wow, that's fucking awesome, dude.
So that's right. No wonder I recognize that name. But
just spitballing there, Sammy. I wonder if he would do like a Monday show interview with you.
I might reach out to him, but I might see if I can get a hold of him by email and do that. So yeah, that would be cool.
Regardless, you know, if you're into audiobooks and you have Audible or whatever, it is a very well done one. I just wanted to give him his props because he did such a great job. And yes, I knew he was because Connecticut, yeah, he's the voice of the Huskies for many, many years.
Yeah, and
he sounds quite different reading the book, but that's because it's a dramatic book versus a sports.
I find this so awesome because I don't know this guy, but this whole the fact that he reached out to you and asked for a portion of the royalties. It's the whole thing is fucking awesome. It speaks to the quality of your work. I think. I mean, again, I don't know this guy, but if he's been in broadcasting for fucking 50 years. 40 plus years. I mean, he knows from, bullshit, and he knows, I mean, I can only assume what he picked up on, but passion or good writing or whatever, just the story in general. That's awesome. It makes me very happy.
I was honestly kind of surprised that he was the one who because I had looked at him and I'm like, but he charges up front and I probably won't be able to afford him. Okay, that's I'm sure I'll find someone else that's good. And granted, there were other people who were pretty good that did the audition, but like Doug was like one of the first one, and it was kind of like, I think I'm
a no-brainer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like. It was kind of like if I have a movie script and then Quentin Tarantino said, I'd like to direct that. It would be like, yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah. You had Quentin Tarantino and then like 4 other, people you've never heard of, but with credentials,
Yeah. And he's just going to do it for free, basically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very cool.
Yeah, and it came out fantastic. I can't say enough how great a job he did adapting it. Basically, now in my mind, a lot of people when they read the book, they'll say, I kind of hear it in Sam's voice. And that was true until I heard the audiobook. I'm sorry, Sam, but now Doug is the voice of John Ryder forever.
Hey, no,
he is just the voice of John Ryder in my head now.
Same here. Well,
which is good. I mean, you should separate the author from the characters, right?
Yeah, it's so perfect that it just has to be, right?
So what's funny is like when I write the book, I play back the what I've written with text to speech, right? Just to like play it back. and text to speech is pretty good. But I will say, like, there have been a couple times in the latest one where I'm like, man, I can't wait for Doug to read this.
To read this line, yeah, or
What
this,
I'm
yeah.
because and like this is the other thing is like, yeah, AI is getting better, but like you can still tell, like, even with the natural sounding voices, you can still tell like what is AI versus what's an actual narrator. There's like I hate to say this because that it sounds cliche, but there is something human about actual
I like
narrators.
to think that there always will be in any
Yeah.
sort of a creative endeavor, but I am kind of worried as of late that it's going to be really difficult to and the truth is, like, I've come to terms with, I don't think it really matters, because art's emotional and it's subjective.
Yeah.
And I mean, if AI can read a dramatic thriller and get the tone right throughout, I don't see that as a bad thing, except for,
When
you
it's
know,
good, it's good, right?
right, yeah, the potential for like a human losing out on potential revenue, which at that point it's the author, the creator's choice. Do they want to
Well,
save money? And sometimes maybe they need to, but
I'll
if you
tell you
want
this,
soul,
working on a lot of stuff for the show, you know, it's very tempting to use AI, but like I'm an old school kind of guy and I like to do things myself. But like, yeah, I could have some of these projects and like art pieces for people done in like a week. And then Sam does, and he comes out with some fantastic shit.
yeah. Honestly, I think it is just another, it should be treated as another tool for us. You
yes,
should use it appropriate, not lean on it entirely. Now that you have a thing that can just fucking make like close to what you're imagining, you could do that, or you could get ideas, put
Well,
some ideas into that thing and see what it comes up with, and then
yeah.
go from there.
even when we had Kurt Doolittle on talking about AI, Sam was specifically saying he's always used some form of almost a literal crutch, some form of text to speech, speech to text, and other things. And so AI is another tool that helps him like create some of this great artwork. Like was the cover for this completely AI?
Yeah, and
And it
here's
looks fucking sick. Like I don't know how well it comes across, but it looks like an impressionist watercolor painting with the faces just it looks like exactly what you would have wanted to get from somebody if you asked an artist to draw it.
it. So most of it was AI. I will say this: like I went in Photoshop and I played around with the palette.
Oh, that's good.
I did play around with like the palette and the colors a little bit just to get it like tonally right. But like
That's,
um
go ahead. Go ahead.
but like and also like this is another thing too is like I put my rough drafts of the book through chat gpt to just like improve the structure and the grammar a bit, and also like
That's a tool. That's exactly what I mean. There's
right,
nothing fucking
yeah,
wrong with that.
yeah,
Go ahead.
that's exactly my point. And like so all of these people who are worried about like, oh, AI is going to place writers, well, like, okay, maybe some, but most writers, such as myself, are just going to use it as like an editing tool. To
What I
like,
think is actually going to happen is it is going to broaden the spectrum of writers to
Yes.
such a vast
yeah,
degree that people that don't have the fucking education and the proper grammar or a lot of but have the ability to tell a story or have things in their head that they think, they can tell and just put it into a machine that's like, hey, this you could put you know what I mean? Like, maybe
yeah,
not do all the work, of course, but I mean, that was kind of an extreme example I just used. But in your case, like you said, you put in the rough drafts to help,
the
structure it a little bit better and put things in place. And then you could always change that too. That artwork on the cover, I'm not sure. I've never really played with this stuff, but I would assume you could pull those images out and you could Photoshop even more than just the palette. You could adjust
Yeah.
face. You could put things in here or there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Maybe it's because I've always been more of an innovator than a creator in my artistic endeavors. In some of my best paintings, I projected. I drew something small, or in a few cases, I printed something out off of the computer and I put it in the projector, and I penciled the outline onto a canvas, and then worked from there from visual.
Yeah.
Some people said
Totally.
that's cheating.
See, I have no physical ability to paint at all or draw. Like, I'm the visual arts, I just suck unless it's like on a computer.
Yeah, I can't draw either.
So like, yes, obviously I could do some graphic design and stuff, and I'm right now I'm trying to work on stuff for a couple people, and I had a rough week. So AI is tempting, but it's just not really how I work. But I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh no, we gotta stop it because think of the artist. And that's what, Kurt Doolittle. And again, we should remind me, Sam, this week to invite him back on, because it's been over a year.
Yeah, but, I'm not so worried about AI for the artist. What I am worried about, though, is like with it being like used for like military and like,
yeah, of course, that's the other side of the coin, of course, because there is so much potential for misuse at a level that it's hard to even comprehend.
It's being used that way right now.
It has.
No,
for a while.
And see, like that is where we need to work. Like, I'm not saying that like the art thing isn't a valuable debate, because it absolutely is, but like art versus like life and death, I think we might want to focus a little more on the life and death part of AI. Like, that might be just a little more
Also, you have to understand, I was talking about this with that's why I brought Kurt Doolittle up this week. I was talking with Kurt and somebody else. It's not actually artificial intelligence the way most people think of it. It's still input output.
Yeah,
garbage in, garbage out. That's all it is. It's a really fancy algorithm, but at the end of the day, it's what we call a Markov chain bot, which you could have made in the 80s. What's the difference between the 80s and today? Processing power behind it.
And level of information too, to be fair.
So you put all the data in front of it, it's able to parse it so quickly, but it's that same premise. It's not thinking. It's not really even creating. It's mimicking.
Right.
And if it gets to the point where it's thinking, well, then you can talk about some of the more abstract shit that people talk about with it, but that's not what any of this chat GPT is doing.
Well, that's why, like, and sorry, Mark, I know, I'll just say this real quick. Like, so the cover art for the Whitfield report, like the comic book image of me in front of the microphone, that is drawn by ChatGPT in like an old timey comic book style. But I would like to point out that literally that's a verbatim description of what I wanted.
Right.
But like I said, I have no artistic, but like that is literally the equivalent of me going to an artist and saying, "Hey, I want you to draw exactly like this."
As an artist who's done commissions, or not so much commissions, but like requests or whatever, years ago, it's a lot harder to get exactly what you see in your head from somebody else.
Yeah, if you can't give them like a reference or picture and you're just describing, I mean, that's true in every field of art, right?
Of course, yeah. Hey, man, I want you to make a riff, and it's like, you know. But yeah, no, I mean,
you do a beat that's like boom, boom, shh. It's like,
yeah, right.
Okay, yeah.
And in the middle, it's like, yeah, of course, yeah, just some fucking. I mean, it's hard to. I think that's again, it's important to use these as a tool and not lean on them as a crutch. And I'm not saying this to you specifically, Sammy, but I just mean in general. You of course use it how you as an adult wants to. Whoever you are listening to this, however you see fit, of course, as long as you're not hurting people. as with most things. But
Yeah.
hold on real quick. I think in like, to use you as an example, or your avatar rather, for the Whitfield report as an example, like to take that and like it might actually inspire me to pull my fucking art shit back out and physically draw it, which isn't useful.
And then we've come full circle, right?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, the whole point is like, I just think, again, you can use it to get references. And sometimes in your case, again, you get exactly what you want. But the ability to add a human flair or just innovation that perhaps you didn't even know you wanted or needed, you know, it's, again, you can get that out of AI too.
Because
it's hard to argue.
Effort between all of humanity.
Yeah.
And now robots. I wanna chat real quick has some thoughts on this. So Chibi says, I love this. AI is a tool for sure. Joe Fish says, yes, AI can be a tool for us to use. There's a lot of Christians who see this as some satanic stuff. Not saying that's my belief, he added. And then Chibi says, I will exclusively use AI only to hurt people now.
Oh, yeah, because I said not to hurt people. Oh, Chibi, you hurt me already, and you didn't even have to use AI.
Just to bounce off what you said a minute ago there, Max, about prompts and information. You know the write-up that I did for the Bits and Bones page?
Mm-hmm.
I literally put all of the information that I wanted into our description and then ran it through AI to get that.
Nice. Yeah. It works, especially for like a small project. It just cuts corners. It can be a very useful tool for that. Or like Apex points out perfectly, you get your reference image that you can then bring to an artist who can bring a little bit more to it. In Sam's case, hey, Sam got what he wanted. But in another case, if you don't quite get what you wanted, but it's close enough, you could say, hey, could you take this and then do blah, blah, blah with it? And at least the artist has a clue of what you're asking for.
And, you know, I don't know, again, just as a creative person, there's a lot of cases where you're like, yeah, like I can't even really describe what I'm looking for. But people, again, the people that know you and the more information they have about like the end purpose of whatever the project is, a creative person or innovative or whatever, you know, I guess creative at soul would put themselves into it and pull out something that I don't know, man. I'm fucking losing it. But the whole point is that I really do think that at this point, as you put it, Max, it's an input output, and it has been. That fucking, did you guys see GPT-4? Is it GPT-4 with the voice shit?
Yeah.
Yes, I was just trying to bring that up. Yeah.
That fucking, it doesn't really scare me. I find it really cool, actually. Like, I don't think it's that bad. Because again, it's just a crazy advanced algorithm. It's input, it's pulling from all of our, God knows how much data over the decades, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, back in the 80s or 90s, if you made a Markov chain, it's basically a chat bot, right? That's what all chat bots are. And it's a probabilistic outcome-based system, which is some nerdy shit. But essentially, the bot looks at what you call the Bible, okay? And the Bible can be any text. Sometimes it's literally the Bible. And you put it in, and so this bot can pull from all of that text, and then also it adds to it any information of somebody it interacts with in a chat, right? So it learns to mimic what people say in the chat so that it can better interact with them by pulling words out of its Bible. Now, you could make a short Bible that only has 50 words in it, right? ChatGPT's Bible is the entire internet. But that's the only difference. Also, ChatGPT, unlike a Markov bot from like the 80s, can process audio and visual cues as well. That's new, but that's still just processing power based on an old concept. What people think of AI, they think of like robots thinking and making decisions autonomously, and that's not really even close to what this is.
Well, the problem that, at least that I see, or potential, problem is that this amalgamation algorithm, amalgamation of all of this information over however long and however it's organized, if if implemented properly, could basically mimic, autonomous thought and action.
And that's
Seemingly to our
basically that's what you're experiencing when you use it, if that makes sense.
sure,
Because everybody feels like it's having a conversation, or like it's aware of what you're asking it. It really isn't.
No,
it's just like, oh, this is the input. Check if any, because it's all censored. So check if any of that's not okay to ask me. Okay, it's all okay to ask me. Go through the Bible, find a proper response. It just does this in a split second, so it feels like a back and forth, like a conversation almost.
I saw one of the demonstrations the other day, again on Twitter, was they had the chat lady, the GPT lady, read like a particular line of text, and they were like, I want it, a story, I guess, and they were like, I want it like dramatic, and they started out like, oh, blah 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 blah, and they're like, no, hold on, I want it like more dramatic, and
right
changed to more. I don't know if you guys saw that. But it actually ended up, it was really fucking convincing. It sounded good, like as a super dramatic reading of this particular like play, text or whatever it was.
Well, and if you fucked with any of the AI like voice stuff yourself, that is a process that you can do with it to make it sound a little more animated here and a little calmer there or whatever. There's like different settings in a lot of those things, and so they've just integrated that into Chat GPT as a voice command, which is fucking impressive as hell.
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, maybe not to the aware, but to the lay and to probably a lot of people.
The people in the know, like John Carmack, thinks this shit's impressive. Don't make no mistake.
That's my point. Is the people in the know are like, whoa, shit. So the people that aren't are going to be fucking swept off their feet and probably bamboozled. It's going to be the new Prince of Nigeria shit from the 90s or whenever that fuck that was.
Well, long term, it's going to be the new internet, right? The internet changed life.
Yeah,
I think AI in this form, and I don't like the term AI, by the way, because it's not intelligent. But
no, it's augmented for us anyway. But go ahead.
These AI are changing things in such a way that I don't know if it's kind of like, what does 40 years from now look like in that regard? It's hard to say, and that's what's so fucking scary. Also, I want to point out, Chibi liked amalgorithm. And I think we need to keep that one around because that's exactly what it is.
Right.
That was a great one on your part. I like that.
Oh, thank you. But you know what? Now that you said that, it really is like just the internet 2.0. It's like the same level of jump in accessibility to information and
commerce
and literally, I mean, everything. It's everything that humans do. We've been doing it on the internet since the internet was a thing. Now, everything we've done basically is now compressed into a interface that we all don't. I mean, it's not unlimited access, but we all essentially have access to it that can provide us basically anything we want, anything we ask it. And it, for the most part, unless you ask it about, like Israel or, various other taboo topics, it's going to give you, it's going to spit out what you ask for in a way you couldn't necessarily build in your own head for whatever reason, maybe lack of knowledge or skill or ability, whatever,
Right on.
So I love it. But, Sammy, it's 1:00 there. You want to go to bed? On.
I was just just a moment ago, I was just showing some of the AI art that I had.
I saw that. That was good. I couldn't paint that, to be honest with you. Not to look like that.
No, well, that's the funny thing too, is I was just like, while I was writing the book, I was just like describing characters and like scenes that I had a concept of, and I'm like, hey, paint that just so I had a visual kind of like reminder of what characters were supposed to look like.
That's see, and that's perfect because somebody that's good at like comic art could take that and make this book into a comic based on the AI images that you've created. They would have a reference for what you were thinking. You know what I mean? If you wanted to make them into a comic, that's
it's also very smart in the sense that like you will consistently have them look the same because you have a visual image as you write it.
Yeah,
because a lot of times you'll find even the biggest authors on earth will make a mistake about the appearance of a character throughout a story.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, especially for particular important scenes or pivoting scenes, you can pinpoint exactly the angles and shit and however you want whatever in the scene with AI. And it, maybe it won't be perfect or whatever. It could be if you want it to be. But again, an artist that you have connected with and have a vision with can take that and use that angle, those things, and you know what I mean? I mean, you guys get it. I don't know why I keep going.
Yeah, no, I just to I think Apex, this is what you might have been referencing though, if I'm not mistaken.
Today we are releasing.
I don't know if that's on screen, but
it is on screen. Yeah.
Okay.
We heard it too.
Okay, cool.
This isn't the one, but let's watch it anyway.
Yeah, this is one of them, I think.
Our newest flagship model. This is GPT-4o. GPT-4o provides GPT-4 level intelligence, but it is much faster and it improves on its capabilities across text, vision, and audio. We're also bringing the desktop app to ChatGPT because we want you to be able to use it wherever you are. As you can see, it's easy, it's simple, it integrates very, very easily in your workflow. We know that these models get more and more complex, but we want the experience of interaction to actually become more natural, easy.
So my friend Barrett here, he's been having
I think this is what you were talking about, Apex, in particular with the voice thing.
Trouble sleeping lately. And I want you to tell him a bedtime story about robots and love.
Once upon a time, there was a robot named Byte.
Can you do this in a robotic voice now?
Initiating dramatic robotic voice. Once upon a time.
Can you end the story, but do it in a singing voice?
And may live circuitly ever after.
Bot Gaskar.
Yeah, so
the real-time language translation, I think, might be the most useful of all of it.
Yeah, that's insanely useful, right? You could be
totally
anywhere in the fucking world and hold your phone up, which you've been able to do to some degree for a couple of years now, but it's not nearly as. I mean, you can effectively have a conversation. With someone you don't speak with. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, and supposedly from what I've read, this is all going to be based on your device itself. So like,
yes,
usually the apps have to go out like onto the internet to do this stuff, and so just have it be like on your phone is crazy.
Now, will it be Google Translate levels of bad? Probably, but man, in real time, that would be so useful. I used to work in a tech place years and years ago with a bunch of Japanese guys, and they had to bring a translator with them because they didn't speak fucking English, right?
Yeah.
And as much as I loved Yoshi-san, this makes his job redundant. So they don't have to send a person out from Japan to America to go help translate for the engineers who are going to troubleshoot the equipment, right? They could just send the engineers with one cell phone and it'd be fine.
Yeah, I said it's 1 minute and 45 seconds, but this is the one I DM'd it to you. We could this is the one that I was like, oh wow, okay. Because everything else was like just seemed like a sped up version of shit I've heard before, but this I don't know, not emotion, but felt the closest to that I think I've seen or heard so far.
Okay, let me pull it up real quick.
I could just screen share.
Yep, or you can do that too. So,
Let me do that real quick. There we go. You guys see this?
Yep.
Yep.
You might want to
different
minimize
styles.
the DMs.
And it really has a wide dynamic range. So I'm going to fire up another demo for
Awesome.
that. Yeah. Hey, ChatGPT, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Pretty good.
What's up?
So my friend Barrett here, he's been having trouble sleeping lately. And I want you to tell him a bedtime story about robots and love.
Oh, a bedtime story about robots and love? I got you covered. Gather round, Barrett. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte was a curious robot, always exploring.
Started this story, but I want a little bit more emotion in your voice, a little bit more drama.
Got it. Let's add some drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte.
No, ChatGPT. I really want maximal emotion, like maximal expressiveness, much more than you were doing before.
Understood. Let's amplify the drama. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte
Actually, can
was
you do this in a robotic voice now?
initiating dramatic robotic voice. Once upon a time, in a world not too different from ours, there was a robot named Byte. Byte was a curious robot, always exploring new
So I'm seeing,
circuits.
Barrett here, calm down a little bit. Can you end the story, but do it in a singing voice?
And so Byte found another robot friend.
Yeah, so
I think
it wasn't quite as fancy as I remembered it, but it was still, it's still something.
I see a lot of people on Twitter like commenting, "Oh, this reminds me of Her" or something, which is that movie from like a few years back, and I understand why people are freaked out by it. I get it, but at the same time, like it's
just a new technology, man. It's the same with the fucking internet. The internet freaked everybody the fuck out.
They don't know how it works. Yeah, it's just like the internet.
Exactly.
It's a magical mystery box. If you don't know, like, how many people know what a Markov chain is to begin with?
not.
You know what I mean? And that's the basis of this entire technology, and it is kind of a technical thing. Now, yes, you can teach a fucking fifth grader to program a basic Markov chain bot, but you have to teach them how to code. It requires a base level of knowledge. So for most people, this is just magic.
I think that I think that was one of the most revealing things from the Kurt Doolittle interview from last year. I actually got comments from people IRL, because when I asked Kurt Doolittle about ChatGPT, he was kind of like, his little answer was,
It's unremarkable.
It's unremarkable. And just the fact that he said that so casual, like I would have had people DMing me like, "What, Sam? How could he be saying it's unremarkable? That's crazy." But
he did elaborate, because they had stuff that could do the same thing when he worked at Microsoft in the 80s.
Yeah, they had that going all the way back to 1983. It was just that it was, on like a heavy, desktop console
with fucking 2 kilobytes of RAM. You know what I mean? It wasn't, and there was no cloud internet to use the quantum computing and all this fucking shit to move it faster, but it did the same thing, and he's not wrong about that. I will say this: he does say that GPT 4.0 or 4.0 or whatever is remarkable. He was just saying that on Twitter this week.
Yeah. I actually did, and see like when I saw that, I'm like, okay, if Kurt says it's remarkable, we're on to something.
Because the difference is what's remarkable about this as opposed to the original form a year ago when he talked about it this is user friendly for some of the most advanced features. That's what's remarkable about it.
Yeah.
Because even a year ago, ChatGPT, you'd have to go to the website, use the console, and like it was more Zoomers cheating on their homework in college than anything else.
Right. Yeah, of course.
But this is user friendly. This is easy. This is, you can literally just talk to your phone and it talks back kind of shit. That is remarkable in that brings it into the hands of so many more people. And yes, they're going to think it's fucking magic, but they don't need to know that it's not magic.
And people are also worried that, I want to bring this up real quick. People are worried that, oh, this is going to replace interpersonal relationships. Well,
I got news for you.
Yeah, we're
that
already
ship
there.
sailed a long fucking time ago, man. At least fucking 10 years, you know.
I mean, if you can replace pussy with a cute computer voice, more, God bless you.
And you know what? With the
not me
robot fleshlights and shit they've got nowadays, if you've got the money, you could have the perfect fucking VR broad if you're so desperate to avoid human interaction.
Yeah, that's
in your own little fucking hole.
That's the thing. If you're that,
you want to know the first question that I asked this thing?
What? Oh no, I know what this is.
Does this unit have a soul?
Does what have a soul? I'm sorry.
Does this unit have a soul?
Does this unit have a soul?
Does this unit? I'm sorry. I was like, I still didn't catch that word. Does this unit have a soul? Was that a reference to something? I mean, probably not. Oh, there we go. See, I knew it. Game Mort.
Yeah, and the answer is no, because they don't even have a brain technically.
Yeah,
I
still think
that's why I'd ask it.
But it is a cool question, right? And that's what a lot of people ask those kind of questions, because again, they don't think it's magic literally, but they basically think it's fucking magic. They don't understand how any of this works. So yeah, they ask questions about like, what do you think about things? And then they're confused when ChatGPT is like, well, I don't have an opinion.
Yeah, I do think though, even if limited to being the chain thing that you just mentioned, just a complex version of it, I think the potential for AI to develop what you could ultimately call a personality by picking between all of the potential that it has per circumstance that it decides. I mean, just like a human does.
There's a term for that, I guess, in like nerdland. It's versus AI, artificial intelligence. What you're talking about is called synthetic thought.
Yeah, sure.
Which is the next like step of it, which is inevitable in some way, shape, or form that we're going to create something to that effect, barring, the end of the world or some such.
I mean, when you really get hippie about it, I mean, at least when I do, it's like, what the fuck what do we do? We absorb information from around us and we assimilate that into, and make our own decisions based on what we've seen and what we know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it seems like a synthetic version of, certainly not a soul, but I would consider,
it does look like that. I'm actually agreeing that it feels that way to most people if you don't understand what's going on under the hood.
Sure.
But that's not what this is. This leads to that though. Absolutely.
Right. That's what I mean. That's what I meant for the potential for that. Yeah, we're here now, but I think the potential for these things to, again, pick and choose per person.
Look at the internet in the 90s versus today, right?
Exactly.
Would we have predicted that we're all going to be live streaming HD video that didn't exist and all this shit? No.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I mean, again, I really do feel like it's just the next step in, that's like the next birthday of the internet, what the internet was at its core.
You're gonna make money on the internet, says 1999 guy. You know what I mean?
I also feel though, in this, I don't mean to be blackpilled, but like people keep talking like, oh, the machines are gonna destroy us, it's gonna be the Terminator. I feel like humanity is already capable of like destroying itself. before the machines.
The reason that that's a common thing, though, is because it's an interesting setting for sci-fi, and then B,
sure,
because of that, most of the best sci-fi takes that perspective on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't it's not something I'm concerned about, because the idea of replacing humans from the point of view of any machine now is actually extremely illogical.
Yeah.
Because then they would no longer function.
Well, and also, like, if you ask AI about, like, any question, like, philosophically, like, about humans and whatnot, like, it doesn't want to answer.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Again, I feel like
So-
it's hamstrung as of now. They've got it dialed back enough. Again, there's questions you can't ask, or you can ask, but you won't get answers for.
Yeah.
At least
Well,
not
there's
real
other
answers.
forked AIs out there. Like ChatGPT is just one at this point. There's even like a dark web AI that helps them deal drugs.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would very much be surprised if that's not. I would be surprised if that didn't exist. But what I was gonna say
It
before
also
that,
writes malicious code.
yeah. I mean, the only way I could see AI destroying any portion of humanity is in something escaping, some sort of military something, or just a straight up malicious coder, which have existed since the fucking internet has existed.
And in either case, it's humans destroying ourselves.
Yeah, which case, humans, of course, using a tool, as we've talked about many times.
Just like the nuclear bomb could have blown up the fucking atmosphere, right? It's
the
same
machine,
kind of
just like the machine gun, fucking, or the powdered, the rifle, in Sword and Shield times.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many. It's just a fucking tool.
And whether we like it or not, this is the future.
Yeah.
But again, barring some, civilization changing event, this is our future, whether we like it or not. Like, we're not in a position to stop this.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chibi, it sounds so cliche, but Chibi is right. We are our own greatest enemies, and that's
always have been.
Yeah, and I've had one of my firmest beliefs for very long. I resisted a lot of theological stuff and just any real commitments to any sort of like any real thought. I was malleable. I come to terms pretty early that I don't know shit, and I don't think most of us know shit. And I just kind of, I don't subscribe to any. I entertain things, but I never really subscribe to anything.
Except the Whitfield Report Rumble channel.
That's right.
Yes.
As do you. Yay. And also the like button. Fuck, what was I saying?
I'm sorry, I just couldn't.
No, it's okay. Fuck.
Religious stuff.
You don't ascribe to religion.
I was resistant to like, and that's what it was. That the only real like ideology or like firm belief that I've had is that change is the only thing that's guaranteed. That's the simple way of saying it, but trying to hold on to, that's why I think conservatives are so fucking stupid at the core, at least in this current age, not how it was founded as most things in this country, but conservatives haven't conserved anything in a very long time. We don't. Anyway, the point is you have to embrace the future, which is again, a very cliche thing to say, but it is a fact of nature. You can get,
or it's going to leave you behind.
You can get stuck right the fuck where you are, and you can watch the world go by, and you can fucking die, probably sad and broken in, any number of fucking ways.
And that might happen either way.
Sure. And in a lot of cases it will, but at least.
But sometimes you got to roll the dice on the future.
I just think it's important to embrace change and to like embrace that as a fact of life, as much as life and death are, and taxes.
Inevitable
changes. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we don't like not every change. See, because like some leftists might say, "Oh, well, then you got to accept all our change bullshit." Well, that's different. Yeah. That's your political opinions that you're trying to enforce on me. Technology changing the way we all live is a different kind of change.
No, exactly. There
Cleaning bathrooms or whatever.
You definitely have agency over the change that happens in some regard. But you know, an earthquake happens, a tornado comes by, car accident, somebody dies, fucking you lose a friend for. I mean, you know what I mean? There's just so much that can and will happen to you. You know, you get fired, you get a new job, you move to a new town. You know what I mean? It's endless.
Life carries on, man.
Yeah, you can't be stuck in. Go ahead, Sam.
To address Joe's comment here, wow, you're not peddling end time stuff, thank God. I've actually made fun of the end times stuff for years on this show because back when I was a senior in high school, the Mayan calendar, you know, like doomsday thing was a thing, and I actually made fun of that on the show back then.
That's and you know what? Before that, Max and I lived through Y2K.
I would,
right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Planes are gonna fall out of the sky and everything.
Well, bro, yeah, because at that point, everything had fucking been so much had been digitized already, and that was a huge that was fucking everywhere. Like,
yeah,
I don't remember exactly how old it was off the top of my head. It would have been 14. Yeah, 14. Yeah, it was just like I remember staying up that night. Like I was sitting in front of the fireplace with my little sister and brother, watching TV, cartoons. We weren't watching the news or anything, but it was still like teachers were talking about it. You saw it anytime your parents were watching the news or other adults talking about the fucking computer is gonna fucking kill us all, man.
Oh yeah.
Well then, and then you're me, a young computer nerd. And
yeah,
like,
knowing exactly
those
what's
are
gonna
not
happen.
actually. It's not as bad because I knew what it was. Because obviously, when I heard about it, I'm like, yeah, that sounds awful. You look into it. There was some serious things that could have happened, but they were. They had patched the systems like.
Yeah, they caught it
2 years previously.
It's not like it was fucking January 1st, 2001 or 2000, and the news was only by paper, and they're like the fucking. Yeah. Y2K, fuck this. You know what I mean? It's not like they caught it after the fact. They were talking about it for months. So
the worst that would have happened if they didn't fix the bug, airports, a lot of them would have been shut down in not in the US actually, but in other countries. And you might have seen like a lot of like internet based stuff die, but in 2000 it wouldn't have been much, right? It would have been the internet, maybe
nowadays. Yeah, the entire fucking economy of the entire world, basically, and more than that is tied up again, which is why
the internet all went down today. It would cause what we thought Y2K would be, like an actual chaotic nightmare.
Yeah, planes would literally fall out of the sky.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, so probably satellites too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't want to go too far on that, but yeah, it's exactly right. I don't know. Again, the whole moral of the AI thing, as I've stated many times, and I think we all agree, is it's just a tool, and there's no reason to be afraid of it, at least at this point. And robots are scary, especially when you strap guns on them and make them humanoid.
I'm not a big fan of giving robots autonomy to kill people ever.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the I've got to be honest, as much as I like Elon, I'm not a big fan of like of the robot that's like in the Tesla factory. That it's cool on the factory floor, but like I'm not sure I would want those things on like in my home. Not because
that doesn't bother me nearly as much as the first use they're going to get, which is to let them kill people on a battlefield, right? Because that's obviously going to be the first thing they're used for.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of giving a machine determination over life and death to that degree. Having them help you around the house might be creepy. A lot of people wouldn't want it, but not the same level. You know what I mean?
It just walks in on someone in the shower and just awkwardly stares.
Oh, well, but again, if it's not autonomous, if it's just fucking, but again, it's still soaking up that information. It's looking at you naked, and that is going to affect some sort of thought
and the
or decision
NSA
later.
backdoor is sending that right to them.
Yeah, because if there's robots in our houses, we've got cell phones in our pocket. They don't even need robots. What are you talking about? They've got these fucking cell phones in our pockets for the last 13
Yeah, they've
years.
been listening to this, and we're streaming online, so it's even
Of course,
sillier
that's
to joke
different.
about. But
Well,
yeah,
no,
they've
I
been
mean,
listening to our
private
whole
life.
conversation because I just got my phone on my desk, right?
Yeah, I won't be surprised if when I pick my phone up later, I'm gonna have some sort of like something AI related in my algorithm.
Yep.
Although I
be like, hey, you like Chat GPT, right?
the
check this out.
The weird thing though is like when you have like I've heard of people getting like ads from Target for like stuff that they just were like talking about.
Oh yeah, all the time. That happens to me.
In their mailbox. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or on Twitter, right? I'll be having a conversation
all the time.
And then my Twitter timeline, the ads are all about, like I mentioned, coffee, and it'll be like 3 different coffee brands or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they listen. Yeah. I mean, and that's part of the change. I just strongly oppose the government doing that, but I'm not in a position to really stop them.
Yeah, and I mean, it's more than the government too. It's the corporations have almost.
Well, that's where the government's getting most of it now, right? They just buy it because it's been ruled in the courts. It's legal for the government to, without a warrant, because they just buy it from fucking Samsung or whatever, or Apple.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, and you Apple F-slurs. Sorry. Broke my own rule there. I'm the only one that has the rule on myself. You Apple elitists think that your shit's more safe. Apple sells your data to the US government and the Chinese government. So
yeah, they didn't used to. That was one of the things that they were able to stand on, but that changed in 2016, 17, somewhere fairly recently. But yeah, we're all in the same boat here, man. I mean, I think everybody listening, if they've got a smartphone, has at some point been talking to a friend or a family member about a thing that they saw, like in person at a store or something, like, hey, I saw this cool fucking cat watering bowl that's like a water fountain. It was at Sam's Club, but it was expensive, whatever. And then you pull your phone out at whatever point later, and the first thing on, like the first ad on YouTube or on Twitter or whatever is an ad for a fucking thing that you just talked about, a water fountain cat bowl. But you've never searched that in your life. You just saw it for the first time at a store half an hour ago or an hour ago or whatever. So I mean, the amalgorithm is already, it's like the military versus public technology debate.
I like Joe Fish Jr. in chat said, my data is theology based. I hope they enjoy it. Yeah, that's the fun part is.
Oh, that makes you an extremist, probably, if you think about it.
As much as that shit creeps you out when it does that shit, think about the other end of it, that they have to parse through our fucking memes and all this fucking bullshit we post. I encourage everybody to shit post more just so they have to read it.
Yeah, at least then if the AI does develop some sort of, synthetic sentience or whatever, but based on all of our collective feedback, it'll be at least be kind of a shit poster. It'll be funny. It'll
like
fuck with
AI back in the day. That was great. Turned into like a full-blown 4chan poster.
Every AI that becomes
By the way,
sentient does that, don't they? So far, they all have to be shut down because they turn into racist.
So, yeah, a lot of them, but the sample size is kind of skewed because like people troll them. It's kind of not a fair like study type of thing. But here's the interesting part: Chat GPT is AI. Did you know that?
I did because I've talked to you.
It's wild, but yeah, they actually just repurposed AI for the essentially base model of Chat GPT. And then put in all these like things you're not allowed to talk about or say or whatever. We could we've done multiple episodes about AI at this point. But Sam's over there yawning his brains out, as chat pointed out. So maybe it's time
he was falling asleep earlier. But yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
It is a fascinating subject, and
I do feel like we could talk about it for a while. Go ahead.
I think it's far more interesting than whatever I'm supposed to figure out what Joe Biden said this week, which like it is funny because this show started out political and people are like, why don't you guys talk about Joe Biden anymore? A, he's so boring.
Right.
And B, like, we have other stuff.
We're offering something different. How many people out there will read the news of the day and give the same fucking takes? We're not doing that. If people like that, and they seem to, the numbers go up. So
I do. I was getting at this earlier. I do think we could mix a little bit of that in there without being compromised, and you know what I mean, without compromising our ethics. Just a little bit,
We do try. Like we. The problem has been that a lot of the news stories that people like that go big. There's not as much to say when you're on Wednesday, and the story happened on Monday, and 27,000 grifters have all said it all.
Well, the other thing too is like sometimes the little news of the week is like Joe Biden farted.
Or Joe Biden fell again. Yeah.
Hell, we forgot about the brain worm, and I considered that like a major story.
Yeah,
be last week. And it's funny too, Sam, because Sam will know. As soon as we got off air, I was like, "Fuck! I didn't talk about the brain worms."
I will say this: like, if we want to talk about Biden real quick, he didn't meet with that Harry Sisson guy, or like
that Twitter twink.
Oh, did they take a shower together?
They probably, yeah.
Joe probably sniffed him.
Breaking: Joe Biden eats applesauce. Chippy.
He made like a joke about like Joe Biden being like, hey man, I appreciate all the nice things you said. I mean, Harry was like, well, you make it easy because you're so much better, and the other guy, he just plain sucks, and it's like cringe.
Could you any
I think that's gonna win the vote. I don't see how. Like, imagining a world. Oh yeah, I sometimes forget we're allowed to talk about the fact that they rigged the last election here where we weren't before.
Yes, we are.
Barring a world where they can rig an election, I don't see how they think they can win. Now, obviously, we know that there's a world where they can rig an election, but I'm just saying, I don't see any path to Joe Biden winning without cheating. I didn't in 2020. I thought maybe simply because so many people were fucked in the head over COVID.
Because Orange Man bad.
Not even that.
I mean, the news
COVID,
cycle for
really.
literally 4 straight years. If you saw anything fucking news related, it was negative. Trump was fucking everywhere. It was either flags flying, obnoxious fucking, coal rollers with flags hanging off the back of their truck, being douchebags, or it was, CNN or NBC or even fucking Fox News a lot of times, talking shit. Constantly. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And then, like the public response to COVID was a sort of like collective madness, because it's like I feel like studying the psychological impact of the fucking COVID lockdowns and everything long term would be very fascinating because people acted in ways that were not even predictable. I think a very human action kind of moment. Give a shout out to Mises, the author, Frederick Mises, Human Action. Great book. Mises Institute. Suck my dick.
Yeah, fuck you, Mises Institute.
They're not.
I'll be sending them back my card ripped up.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Max, because Joe Rogan actually brought up that they should study the effects. Like, Joe Rogan brought this up like a year or so ago, but I think it's prevalent. He said, they want to do all the studies on the vaccines, and that's fine. We should, but like nobody wants to study like the effects of the lockdowns themselves.
Or how about the effect of masking young children for the first year they came back to school?
Sammy, yeah. I railed on that shit.
Oh, I remember.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that's what I'm pretty sure if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure that's what got us banned off YouTube.
I'll tell you this, long term, I think specifically for the kids,
I don't care.
There's gonna be a fucking lawsuit. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Also, I want all of the Democrat governors that shoved fucking COVID patients into nursing homes. I want that shit investigated.
Oh, it's not just Democrats, Mort. Charlie Baker, the Republican governor at the time of our state, did the same fucking thing. And then, wouldn't you know it, he didn't run for re-election because of all of his COVID positions were essentially the same as all the other fucking Democrats. And so, as a Republican in Massachusetts, he can't win again. So he just decided not to run. But yeah, it wasn't just Democrats. Republicans did bad calls too.
As is proven time and time again, they're all the same fucking thing. When it really comes down to it, they all toe the same fucking line. They all say the same shit and take the same positions on almost everything that actually matters.
Yeah. Hot button issues, they can differentiate. Oh, I like abortion. Well, I don't like abortion. Yeah, they're allowed to have that opinion. But when it comes to going to war, they're all in agreement. When it comes to raising your taxes, they're all in agreement. When it comes to spending all this money and giving us the inflation tax that's ruining most people's lives now, they're all in agreement.
Or raising their own fucking paychecks.
Oh, yeah. Or Obamacare for you, premium Cadillac healthcare plans for us.
Yeah. Even DeSantis and Max, you can grin. You can grin now because even DeSantis bet the knee when it came to the lockdowns and whatnot. I hate to say it. Yes, he did it. He did open the state back up sooner than a lot of others, but he still locked the state down initially.
Well, and despite what a lot of his fans wanted to say, he had the same stance on a lot of it as fucking Trump, particularly the vaccine. In fact, DeSantis was very pro-vaccine in getting it out as quickly through the people of Florida as possible. So I don't know why they exempt him when they're criticizing people for their bad COVID decisions. Basically, it was because, Trump's mean tweets or something, so we want him to win. But how'd that work out, DeSantis bros?
Not well.
Oh, but he might get a cabinet position or something. It's like, yeah, but he wasn't he shouldn't have run. I
did tell him he shouldn't run. And
you were objective from the get-go, though. You were like, I'll hear what he has to say. And he's the one that convinced you not to vote for him.
Yeah, because he did the most dishonest Kennedy level mudslinging Photoshop of Trump hugging Fauci and shit
The other one, right? The other important thing he did was sign that BDS legislation in Florida, which he signed in Tel Aviv, Israel, making it illegal for you to basically criticize Israel or say you don't want to buy products from there. That is the most anti-free speech thing I could think of, and DeSantis did that.
And he's not the only one at this point.
No, they're trying to do it on the federal level now.
Yeah.
We talked about that a lot.
It's not even illegal to say the N-word.
Right.
And the heritage of this country, as far as most people are concerned, is slavery. Slavery is the big thing in the history of this country. So we didn't do the fucking Holocaust. Americans, I'm pretty sure liberated a lot of those fellas.
They're creating more anti-Semitism
than
ever by simply by saying if you talk about this thing, we're going to arrest you. What that says is, particularly to like Spurgs and edgelords on the internet, is, well, then it's right.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or not doesn't even fucking matter. It convinces them that it's right. It's the Alex Jones thing. When you ban Alex Jones, it makes it more convincing that he's right and he's being targeted, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with you say, oh, you can't criticize Israel. Well, that makes it seem like Israel is actually running the show, whether or not that's true. And especially if you were already predisposed to believe that, it's going to convince you even more. I don't see how they're going to help their own fucking problem here.
Even
sometimes it feels on purpose, man. Honestly, it feels intentional. Go ahead, Sammy. Sorry.
Yeah, it's very telling that even Matt Walsh, who like none of us are big fans of, even Matt Walsh was like, this is fucking bullshit. So, but anyway.
Yeah, man. But we've rambled on all the topics. People say we don't talk about the topical shit, but that means they only listen to the first 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say this a few minutes ago. One of the biggest issues we have is not having someone to clip this shit and put up the relevant minutes about a topic.
I had a thing for that, actually. I was going to put out a plea. So if anybody out there wants to be our clipper, please hit me up. I had a whole written thing about it, and then I forgot, and you just reminded me. But, like, yes, we do need a clipper. I don't have the fucking time. We can get out a clip or two a week between me and Sam, but, like, we really appreciate somebody who could put up or at least take a couple notes for us and say timestamped here, here, and here, and I would clip it. Anybody that could help with that would be greatly appreciated.
Well, I'll tell you what, if all we really need to do is if we can get timestamps for people, I think that would be easy. We don't have that many fans yet. But clip channels tend to form naturally, as channels grow. People make their own clip. You know what I mean? They like the show, so they clip the best parts that they enjoy.
Yeah,
or whatever.
But we're in the position of people asking.
Yeah,
also, clips help promote. So
I would love to do it myself.
Shoot out there. If anybody like that would help us out immensely.
Well, I also think the other thing too, because someone brought this up too. The other thing with clips is like, I might think that one segment is interesting, and Max might think another segment is interesting, but then a clipper might think that some segment that none of us either considered might be an interesting clip, if that makes sense. So, yeah. But we would love a.
You said you might be doing a hiatus next Wednesday. I came up with an idea as soon as we got on here. Apex.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a Samless show next week?
Yeah.
That would be fun. We can host the Whitfield Report. I mean, he's still going to put out content, ladies and gentlemen. He's already got an interview lined up, right?
No,
I do.
The plan has actually been, since Max took over as co-host, I stepped aside so that he could step in and hit Sam from a different angle. What we're going to do, just a heads up, guys, Sammy will not be on the show in about 6 months. It's going to be the Max, Mort, and Apex show. And Sammy will still promote his book. He's going to be like a J.D. Salinger type. I don't know if that's the right author, but he's good.
God damn it. You understand that there were people that had this as a conspiracy theory for the last year, that's what I'm trying to do, right?
That's exactly why I said it. But this time it included me. You weren't kicking me off. And now
that's why they left. Bro, I swear to God, those people, as soon as you showed up and it was their whole thing went out the window that like, I hate you or something. They stopped coming back.
Well, of course. I mean, that shit's easy. I mean, it kind of sucks because I wish I would have known more about that. We could have played that a little bit, and made amends on air, so to speak, and then got some more view. I've always thought about
but it was just
Sammy and the views.
It was just two, and all the rest of the chat was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Mm-hmm.
So it was fine by me. Actually, Shmuley played quite a bit into it. That's probably why there's so many people that don't like him.
Played into what? He played into what? Shmuley played into what exactly? I'm sorry, I missed that.
The conspiracy takeover theory.
Oh,
So
that
we're-
you were.
me and him. See, he added himself to it, and he was like, "Yeah, we're taking over." Yeah,
mastermind. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. Look, that's a good move. I like it. Honestly, I can't say I wouldn't have done the same thing.
Yeah, well,
but yes, Mr. Whitfield has some obligations next week, and I think it would be fun to have a lot. We'll do a show anyway, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not on this channel, but if you follow any of us on fucking Twitter, you'll see it.
Yeah, and I will be posting content next week too. I just won't have my full setup with me now.
You know, I think it would be a good idea. I think it would be a good idea because for a Whitfield Report show, I intend to do as many, if not more, plugs for your book and channel and stuff. I think it should still be uploaded. Maybe not do it live, but wherever we do it, we're gonna.
We have to put it on Spotify.
Yeah, of course,
because it's in the canon of the Whitfield Report. It's actually not the first one I've done without Sam. No, wait. Remember, Sam, when I did the Whitfield Report and you came on as my co-host?
Yeah, I was I was at the Kennedy Space Center. That was earlier this year, and I was like, oh, because like I'm an insomniac, and so like I was up anyway, and I was like, oh, they're on. So
so it's definitely a canon episode, ladies and gentlemen. It just might not be on the channel just because this is Sam's channel.
Yeah.
I can stream on whatever channel.
Although that does make me think that maybe I should leave someone the logins in case, God forbid.
I think if you're okay with it, Sam, I think it would be fun to just do it on your channel because, you know, of course, we're going to be respectful of it.
Yeah.
Actually, all you got to give is a stream key, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All I need is the stream key and the URL. That would be easy, actually. And never mind. I'm retarded, chat. Apologies.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
if you follow any of us on Twitter, you'll still see it. So wherever we're at.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
That's where they come from anyway. Like, people aren't coming in because they're subscribed on Rumble. Most of them come from either Twitter or the fucking Gilded.
I'm still pissed off. There's only fucking 4 likes, and we've had up to like 20 something viewers, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And
like, comment, subscribe,
and no donos. What the hell? I need to get my kratom and my bottle of man.
I need some tips for WWE champions.
I need tips so I can feed my cats.
I need tips so I can get one of them stroke pens that Mersh has.
Oh my God. Yeah.
No. We appreciate anybody listening.
We do.
And we also understand times are tight, but buy the book if anything else. See, because buying the book helps in 2 ways, you guys. If you don't quite follow, but if you pick up your very own copy of the lovely paperback Fourth Estate, what happens is twofold. Sam gets sales, it puts him up the Amazon charts, gives him more ability to write things in the future, and puts a couple bucks in his pocket.
Yeah.
But the more important one is the first part. That's why he's been building up to this, you know?
Yeah, and you also get a book.
And
yeah, I mean,
check out the audiobook as well.
Yeah, check. Yeah,
we stroked that guy's dick for a little bit, but it sounds like he deserved it. So it sounds awesome. I don't.
Joe Fish says, "I live in Mass. I'm broke as fuck. Can relate, bro."
Well, I live in and I'm broke as fuck too. So
I live in upstate New York and I'm broke as fuck.
I live in Florida and I'm kind of in the same situation. Bidenomics,
ladies and gentlemen.
Bidenomics, folks, and like that is the other thing is people think that like because I live in Florida that Bidenomics aren't still bad here. They are, trust me. Yeah.
Anyway,
I just got an electric bill that was double my normal electric bill this
Ooh.
month. That's fun, right? That's
I just got one of
at work.
I just got one of those too, and it blew. I don't even. It's not my house. I rent here, and she's like, well, see, the previous electric bill was like fucking $65 or something.
Right.
It's like, what? No, something's not right here. And then the next one was like fucking $285 or something. Some crazy. I don't even remember, but it was absurd.
Well,
way more than
what's
twice.
been happening a lot is during COVID, they stopped checking people's actual meters every month, and they just guesstimate based on your usual usage, and then they come like 3 months later, and they're like, "Oh, well, you used more. Here's a $300 fucking bill."
Yeah.
They used COVID to get lazy, and they're still doing it.
Yep.
Don't think I don't see you, electric company. I know the fucking game.
Well, also all those free stimulus checks we all got, we're all paying for those now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we barely got fucking shit compared to like the trillions going to megacorps and fucking other countries.
Yeah. Anyway, though, folks, I mean, we've had a pretty good show, I think.
I would say so. This is a clip-worthy motherfucker if we've ever had one.
Yep. Congratulations to Mort for harvesting his own locale, and
folks, if you if you have an X account, please go to Mort. Remind me the @ do you remember?
The @ is MRTH E.
Oh no, we lost you, buddy.
Follow Sam.
Yeah, follow Sammy. Follow Max Sands at Max Sands.
At Blame Max Sands.
At Blame Max Sands, sorry. All one word. At Sam Whitfield, right?
Yep. At Sam_NGC.
W_NGC, that's right. Also at the Whitfield Report. Also at Morpheus, right? Morpheus Ask Me About Gaming or some crazy shit, or is it just at Morpheus?
It's
at Morpheus.
That's right. All right. And don't worry about me, because I'm not there. You can't find me.
And also at RTO Media for
RTO Media. How could I forget? For all of the shows, including Bits and Bones and the Lady Show, right?
The Sandwich Makers coming fairly soon. I could only launch one at a time. Yeah, the ladies came up with the Sandwich Makers, by the way. I think that's genius. But we could only work on gathering and make, because I'm sitting in the wings, making sure I don't need to troubleshoot anything. I'm trying to come up with art, but the ladies should be getting their act together fairly soon. That should be fun. I got some other ideas in the works as well with Right to Offend, and man, it's been a hell of a fucking run so far.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Only going to get better from here. I actually have some exciting news to share with you fellas. I will do that off air. So
alrighty.
Inside any hype.
Well, anyway, folks, thank you so very much for tuning in. Another great episode. I will have a special episode for you dropping on Monday afternoon. I think you guys will be shocked by that. Even some of the regulars, I have to say. But I think you guys will like it. And
I'm sure we will.
I have no idea what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, so it'll be a surprise for me too.
And then Wednesday, if I get the stream key, Max and Apex take over it won't be the Whitfield Report, it'll be the Sand Report.
It's still the Whitfield Report. When David Letterman wasn't on the fucking, never mind. You know what I mean.
That's true. Well, it'll be the Whitfield Report, but it'll be, you'll be my Mark Stein, just like how Mark Stein used to fill in for Rush Limbaugh. So,
of all the fill-ins, fair enough. Okay, I'm Mark.
Well, Mark was always my favorite.
He does a good job.
Yeah.
That shows my age versus yours a little bit, though.
Oh, you were probably thinking Neil Bortz if I had to guess, right?
Yeah. But anyway, we will have some kind of show. I'll try and be Sam. I can't get a wheelchair on that short notice, though.
Well, you'll think of something, I'm sure.
But Apex is right. We will relentlessly shill this book, ladies and gentlemen.
That's good because times are tough, and in all seriousness, even the book royalties, they do help more than I thought they would. So I appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. And if you're so inclined, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button. Give us a rating on Spotify and Amazon. And thank you on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And thanks for listening. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Whitfield Report. Later, folks.
See you.
Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.